Good evening, it's Uncle Jackie. I'll be back in a few.
Talks like his shit don't stink, but he's cool with people. I knew he's fine. Just Uncle Jackie better. Jackie was alright. Uncle Jackie was excellent. Fucking guineas. Uncle Jackie. Uncle Jackie. Line, everybody get the line. Listen the fuck up. It's going down. Pay attention. Alright? Bitches a little bit, bitches a little bit, the flights a little bit, the heart a little bit, bitches a little bit, bitches a little bit, fuck you all, I'm the motherfucking general, bitches a little bit, bitches a little bit, the flights a little bit, the heart a little bit, it's a little bit, it's a little bit, fuck who you are. When I walk through, stop, silence, remain quiet, babies don't cry, thug. Yo, I think it's time we take a fucking time out to hear what Harlem got to say. What, niggas? Harlem on the vibes. You don't want no problem with us, guys.
With the game, I'm standing out in the crowd. Also hard, gotta stack that can't stop my vibe. Got the beats banging, speakers bumping loud. I'm the king of the game, standing out in the crowd. I'm so hard, gotta stack that cash. Yellow tape wrapped around, I'm making a splash. My flow so hot, it's burning up the scene. When I step into the room, you know what I mean. Yellow tape, yellow tape, yellow tape. We on fire, we the ones in charge. Ain't none time. Turn it up, let the beat drop low. Yellow tape everywhere, it's our time to show.
Practice. I can show you practice. I can show you how to put $1 million in a mattress. I can show the difference between an icon and a classic. Baby in the major should be rolling in a basket. I'm advanced, and it's a lot of dance from anywhere. My jewelry jump like John Morant, and Kif Tower shorts got me tanning with the babes. You would be a surfer if you ever had this wave. I just switch up my cabana, they throw shade. Matter top 5 and top wives, no I'm the fade. And though I'm out the loop, I be mute, playing cute, nothing to say to you. Cause when I'm back home, I'm like Kyrie, I won't play with you. This is magic with the fur. Tim Duncan on the spurs. Tanya Harton on the skates. This that Kobe number 8. This the kick over the head in the hand of Sue Bird. This boy's superb. All I got is 2 words.
Uncle Jackie, what's going on? Good evening. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's up, gentlemen?
What's going on? Another conspiracy theory Thursday / political theory Thursday. How we looking?
Doing. It's good to see you. It's good to see Doc. I'm feeling good.
So what's going on, everybody?
Likewise, brother. Likewise.
What up, Ms. Brinson? What up, Daz? What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? Yeah, give me a few ticks. Let me sit my black ass down.
Yeah, as everybody knows, election is coming up on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
You know, whichever way y'all guys vote in, or go out there and make it happen either way.
Yeah, I agree, homie. You know what? I wanted to say because Uncle Jackie asked me how it went last week, and I said that I was loving the talk between me and you, Doc. You know, it was engaging like there was no tomorrow, and it had my mind, you know, kind of looking in different directions, and you know, I appreciate it, especially if you felt like your patience was being pushed in any way, shape, or form. But I was hoping that not for conflict, but for you know that same kind of engaging, um, like as we were talking, you would end up coming up with a question, and you know it'd be put me in the hot seat, and I like being in the hot seat, so to speak. You know, so yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's not too many people could do that, Doc, and I just wanted to show my appreciation and respect for last week's combo.
No, definitely. I mean, that's what this shows is all about. I mean, some may try to get money for more for you know. What I mean, I just do this when I do my shows or when I come on the show, just to air my opinion and my thoughts. And you know, if we got
Yeah,
facts, we lay down on the line too, lay down the facts. You know what I mean? And I also thought that the conversation that we had last week was very interesting, and you made me go do some homework too. So I appreciate you for and us and Uncle Jackie for having a show last week that made us, you know, go do some research and go retract this stories that we saw and just put stuff together. You know what I mean? So you know,
yeah, yeah.
that's what we're here for. For men, first of all, we are all men in here. You know what I mean? So we
Word.
shouldn't be acting off of emotions or anything of that nature. And if we do, you know, we should be able to take a step back and be like, you know what, X, Y, and
Hold
Z.
up.
But
Hold up. Who said I identify as a man? I don't identify as a man.
Oh,
Kamala Harris is
hey,
coming into
Doc,
office. Do not put labels on me. Do not put
yeah,
labels
Doc.
on me.
Doc came up in here and just started fucking insulting people, man, just right off the bat.
Yeah, how dare you? How dare you?
Hi, hi, my name's Moose. I identify as a straight mother. Dude, my blood type, my blood type is straight.
I am just a male entity. I am just incapacitated male body, but I am not a male.
excuse me if I offended anybody. Excuse me.
I
Well,
totally
I
resent
got
you right
news
now.
for you. I got news for you, Mister. I identify as a male, dude. I'm from California, and well, I was raised in Cali, and dude, you can identify as a baseball if you want out there, bro. So, like, you got
Yeah,
all
that's
of
too liberal for me. That's too,
it.
that's too laissez-faire, too liberal to me. You somebody tell that man he's not a baseball. Get them some
Yeah,
help.
right.
When people start identifying that shit, it's time to get them some help. Don't push the shit
Do you
off
guys
on
ever?
everybody else.
Hey, do you guys ever
Say again,
watch
brother.
or read you guys ever watch or read the Babylon Bee? It's a satire.
What,
It's all
Babylon
jokes and
5?
shit. They're never really serious. No, no, no. It's called the Babylon Bee,
Oh,
and
no,
they
no.
just put out articles. They've just put out bullshit articles, but they're hilarious as hell. They put out an article on this dude. He, he identifies as an 8-year-old boy, and he's been knocking out, breaking all these Pee Wee League records. They do this whole backstory on him and everything, man. It's hilarious, man.
Man, I was
It's not
thinking
for
about
real, but you know what I'm saying?
identifying as a WNBA player. I started to.
Yeah,
Like,
right?
I just see myself as a WNBA player. Give me a ball, let's go. Give me a contract.
Could you imagine you imagine boxing out on one of these?
Oh, I'm a box out, all
I don't
right.
know. Some of them are pretty big stakes, though.
Oh no, I'm gonna always
But
let them have position, so I gotta have to fight a little harder.
oh,
You
listen to
can have
you,
position, baby.
fucking charmer. He's a charmer even when he's talking about MWNBA.
No. Now, all right. All right, we're gonna get serious for 1 second, folks. All right, we got two
Copy
candidates
that,
here, right?
boss.
Both of them, most people see each one or both of them as crap. And there's nothing wrong with that. Best of a
Yeah,
bad situation we got coming up right now. Now, What I say is, do I want somebody who's going to sit there and let me identify as whatever I want to identify as, no matter what? Or do I want a motherfucker who's going to sit there and maybe throw a little bit of taxes his rich people way? Because to me, all that means is if you want the breaks he's giving the rich people, get up off your ass and get rich. Put some more money to your name.
Yeah.
Add a zero. Do some fucking overtime. He's for the hardworking man. You talking about Kamala and the middle class. Yeah, okay. What does fucking no taxes on what's the tips? No taxes on overtime. Who is that for? Is that for rich people? Don't sound like it to me, and that's Trump's
No.
policy.
Well,
That don't
well,
sound
the
like that
very
for rich
second that
people.
the very second that the Democratic Party hears any kind of tax breaks, automatically they're doing shit on the news saying that they're going to give huge tax breaks to just corporations and shit like that. And when Donald Trump gave those tax breaks and the regulation breaks to because regulations they cost big companies a lot of money, so that's part of the reason why he wanted to cut back on regulation. Um, but at the same time, you got RFK that is going. He's going on his witch hunt for the food, vaccines, medical care, that kind of shit. But the thing that I think that you can dislike Kamala for all the practical reasons. Okay, from like inflation to the border, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, we could spend all conspiracy Thursday night listing all these screw ups, right? But the thing is there is no fear of Kamala. Okay, nobody really fears her in any way, shape, or form. The only reason why we fear her is because of the inflation and what's going to cost us in the pocketbook. Now, recently, um, the fear kind of escalated to the point where now conservatives and Republicans have been called Nazis. And the thing is that the satire side of me goes, okay, um, I I remember when Trump was in office and he rolled into train cars and he loaded up all the brown people and gay people and people of color. They put them all in train cars and shipped us off all the concentration camp. No, that shit never happened. As a matter of fact, to
Right.
associate the whole. I mean, because when you say the word Nazi, you're broad stroking a whole lot of shit right there. There was no good aspect of the Reich movement in World War II. There was no good in it in any way, shape, or form. So what I'm curious about because like I only fear the outcomes of what Kamala has or the effects that on society and finances Kamala has. But when it comes to the fear of Trump, it seems to run a whole lot deeper. It seems um, to strike a particular nerve. And I'm not talking about Trump derangement syndrome. I'm talking about like folks that that got brain went between the ears, and they really don't necessarily think. Yeah, they're worried about Trump that taking their rights away and that kind of stuff. That's where like I felt like I was doing quite a benefit last time we were talking, and kind of addressing those what is it stereotypical fears of a white businessman, so to speak, as opposed to Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
think
I'm
this
not talking out
society
my
now
ass.
just fears any white man from town. Remember that from Thinner, white man from town? So that's what
Yeah.
gives the damn skepticism to people of color. Can we trust white man from town? But you can't trust colored woman from out the country because she
Nah,
already
nah.
lied and said she was black already.
It's not just that, bro. It's a lot of things. It's the crowd that he roused up, bro. He just at Madison Square Garden the other day. One of the biggest populations in New York City is Puerto Ricans. How would you have a man that
Yeah.
go up there and totally and say what he say about Puerto Rico
That
after?
Oh,
that I
that
didn't agree with.
floating island of garbage.
Yeah, after
Yeah,
Yeah,
after Trump went out there and threw paper towel at these people when they had the hurricane, and they feel already some type of way about Trump. So it's like, yeah,
wait,
we
well, hold
we
up.
okay. Now I'm not
Mm.
going to justify what the guy said because I
Yeah,
can't
you
remember
can't.
his name for the life of me. no. But at the same time, that dude right there. Look at any of his comedy. Like, dude, and that's the
Okay,
nature of his comedy.
there's a place and time for everything. You understand? That wasn't no place for you to come out there and say that. And if you felt that was, then you felt comfortable in your own skin to do that. And that's what I'm trying to say. He has people feel comfortable in saying what they feel on their mind at any given time, whether it be disrespectful, whether it be wrong, whether it be right. You understand? And then that is my
Yeah,
biggest thing with him. You know, like you could fact check stuff, and this goes down to when the coronavirus was coming on, and we began censoring it all around, and this, that, and the third. There's a lot of people
yeah.
that lost businesses, lost credibility, lost their mental strength because
Oh,
what
absolutely.
what they was putting out there, they thought they was educating the world, and then was getting fact checked or fact finding, and come to find out what the facts that they was putting out was actually facts, and what was they being blocked at was stuff that the government didn't want to put out there. So now you're not
Now,
blaming
see,
Trump, you're
that's the
not blaming
thing.
Trump for that, but
Oh,
now you
sorry.
got
Go
to
ahead,
ask
brother.
now you got to ask you what's going on with our government. You know what I mean? Regardless of who we put inside the office, who's pulling the strings and who's making the moves. You know what I mean?
Well, and I'll tell you, especially as far as COVID is concerned, the interview with Joe Rogan. There's another interview with Theo Vaughn. There's another interview that he did. I've watched all three, and I can't remember the third one for crying out loud. Oh, Lex. Fuck, what's his name, man? He's a friend of Joe Rogan's too. He's an MIT professor, and he's not a big fan of Trump at all, as a matter of fact. But anyway, one of the things that I noticed in his interviews is that he openly admits his mistakes and trusted a lot of people that he shouldn't have trusted when he got into the office. And that right there says a lot. It speaks volumes to me because um, I when I'm at my work, when I'm doing my job, if something I do has a significant effect on what my performance is or what somebody else's performance is, also, I take up for it. I take up for poor decisions. I take up for mistakes that I make. And guess what? I'm working on my third or fourth year. Actually, we're working on my fourth year at my job because I can stand up and admit that I made mistakes. Now, there are a number of people that Trump had in his cabinet that he or nobody in the world could trust because they had their own priorities going on. They did not. They had the World Economic Forum in mind. They had the WHO in mind. They had uh, NATO and the UN in mind. See, the thing of it is like this is what's amazing about Trump is he's juggling all of this, and he managed to tell NATO and the UN to fuck off. Do you know why he told the NATO and the UN to fuck off?
So we supporting them. We giving them too much
Yeah.
finances, and no one else is doing. No one else is
Exactly.
financing them.
Precisely, and that's what freed up a lot of our money. So we've been, and not only that, the UN and NATO like to go around the world and start shit and expect the United States to come up with the funds or the soldiers and that kind of stuff. That was some bullshit. That's precisely why we got ourselves into Syria. That they used that perfect. Obama used that perfect excuse to get into Syria, to get into all these other Middle Eastern countries and stir up wars. And Trump was fed up with it. He was like, you know what, that's it for the UN. You know what, you guys got to put up or shut up is basically what he told them. And it was amazing because he walked in and they had a brand new building built. It was built that year. I think it was in 2017, 2018. And he goes, this is an amazing building. I said, I hate to know what it cost to build because we were the foot in the bill for it. A brand new, big, like gigantic building. It wasn't like it was like a 40-story building or a 30-story building. So when it comes down to it, like to does Trump regret putting the comedian up there and a racy comedian up there to say some bullshit? Yeah, he's probably regretting that to a certain level or degree. At the
Yeah,
same time,
but again, you could say that you made wrong decisions. You could admit that and all, but that he's only admitting that when his back is against the wall. When he has to
No, it's
admit,
not.
you know what I mean? But he's not.
No,
He's not
no,
making the hold on. He's not making the changes during times where people are telling you that this person shouldn't be there, or why is this person there with no experience, and why you X, Y, and
no, no, no,
Z.
no, 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 no. I'll explain that as a matter of fact. Because anytime that he caught somebody not doing their job or working against him, they were fired instantaneously. He fired generals, homie. He fired straight up
He fight
generals because
generals going against what his beliefs are, and if your beliefs is
no, no,
not,
no, it's not beliefs. No, 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 no. It had nothing to do with beliefs. It was whether or not, dude, General Milley straight up said that he would let China know if Trump was going to act against them in any way, shape, or form. That's fucking treason, bro.
That's treason,
That's
like a
letting the enemy,
motherfucker.
treason.
dude. And he straight up, yeah, it is. You cannot let an enemy country or a country outside of us know what our military movements are. He
Okay,
Milley straight up
That's
let me
said
ask
high
you.
treason.
Let me ask you that. Where's the guy at now that said that?
he was fired. But guess who
Well,
just
is
endorsed Kamala?
he is,
Guess who just endorsed Kamala?
is he still walking around able to talk and say what he wanted to say to China?
No, he can't. He's fired. He's no
Yeah,
longer
but you can
allowed
still
to.
he still had to have information that he could pass off to China.
I mean, yeah, he could
No, no,
try,
no,
but
no, no,
now he
no, no,
don't
no.
have nothing.
What he
He
was
don't know
doing?
anything else.
No, what he was caught saying to China was that if the U.S. had ever made any kind of moves, military moves towards China, that he would call them ahead of time and let them know. And there's two generals that did that to him. And then you got, Michael Flynn. He's another general that ended up getting arrested because he was saying stuff about the election. He's saying that he doubted the election. And guess what? They said, well, you can't necessarily say that. Well, what happened to the freedom of speech? It's one thing to say, oh, you know what? Democrats are all out cheating, as opposed to, well, I think there was some voter fraud. Let's go ahead and do an investigation. And simply suggesting the investigation got all kinds of people fucking arrested.
Yeah,
Arrested, doing time, like Steve Bannon.
but also with them making false accusation against the people, the voting representatives down in I believe in Florida or Georgia. You know, again, like I discussed last week, Giuliani just got all his belongings taken. He got no, he's supposed to have no money, no nothing. You know what I mean? And that goes to defamation of character. They drag people down in a hole. They drag people's names in a hole, and then to be false accusations. You know what I mean? And then you can't go back and say sorry then, and then think what your sorry is going to take everything back. No,
No,
you know what I'm saying? No, but hold
that's
on,
not that.
hold on. But then also Trump right hand man for 3 years while he was in office. Who was that?
Mike Pence.
No. I'm not talking about vice president. His right hand man, his lawyer. Who was his lawyer?
Oh, yeah, it's Giuliani. So,
No, besides Giuliani, the one that he threw under the bus that but became that turned to Fed witness.
see, I'm drawing a blank, bro. I'm thinking that maybe you know the name. I'm gonna
No,
need
no.
a moment.
I don't know his name. I don't know his name. That's what I'm saying. I thought it was Michael Flynn when you said it, but it was
No,
his
Michael
lawyer.
Flynn.
Pence. He's on Mike. He said Mike Pence.
No,
No,
he
no,
said Mike
no. It's not Pence.
Flynn.
No, no, no. Doc is trying to remember a lawyer, and I think I
No,
know.
I know what he's saying. But I didn't hear you
It's
Yeah,
say
the
Mike
one
Flynn. I
that
heard you say Mike Pence.
yeah, he said Mike Flynn just now, but when he was talking earlier, he was talking about Flynn, Mike Flynn, the
yeah,
general, the ex
yeah.
general.
Flynn,
But
Flynn's a good
You're right.
guy.
You're right.
Flynn's a
but
good guy. He is.
the guy that I'm talking about, he got arrested for lying for under oath. You know what I mean, covering Donald Trump stuff. Donald Trump had him pay off Stormy Daniels. That's the guy that paid off Stormy Daniels.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay. I know exactly who you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
that
But
asshole. Okay.
that was
Hold on. That asshole, and I'll call him an asshole because he practices law pretty shittily, if you ask me. Um, first off, the Stormy Daniels thing happened long before the election in the first place. And
Mhm.
second off, all of those 34 indictments that he was charged with were record what's it called? No, no, I'll give it to you here in a second. It's on the tip of my tongue, Doc. I'm sorry. Give me a second. It is okay. So they track the funds from the check that they sent to Stormy Daniels. Okay, so Stormy Daniels gives the investigators the check. They follow the check, and that money had actually changed hands several times, and there were indictments for each time that it changed hands. So if you got to shift this money from one account to another, guess what? That's an indictment. If somebody emails somebody else about this money, it's an indictment. If somebody has a phone call about this money, it's an indictment. Okay, you see what I'm saying? They're trying to track every movement of whatever funds, and they threw an indictment each time. So they wanted to catch everybody in some sort of like almost like a RICO act, and they wanted to prosecute everybody that was involved to weaken Trump's team. And it was bullshit in the first place because first off, Trump used personal money, not campaign money, to pay off Stormy Daniels. Now that's if he paid off Stormy Daniels. And the funny thing of it is Stormy went on some show and said that she never had sex with him in the first place. She admitted that none of the shit was happening in the first place. So at the end of the day, yeah, the transaction took place. The money was there, but the sex wasn't. That's the crazy part about it. He never had sex with Stormy Daniels.
My,
That's
my
that's
my key
that's
point,
what
my
fucking blows my mind about this whole thing is that
my key
they
point of
were
bringing up Michael Combs, because that was his name.
Michael
Combs.
Cohen, piece of shit.
So,
Yeah,
so
Cohen's a piece of shit.
my thing of bringing him up was Trump surrounded himself with seedy people. You know what I mean? People that got dirt, got little
No, no,
spots on their
no. I would say that a good 2 to 5% of the people that were around him were shady. The other 82 to 85%, or I'm sorry, 88 to 85% were good people. They had his uh his um his
best.
mentality in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they had
so
his
so
message
so
to
you know,
everybody for it.
so if it's 5%, and I just think that he went through two cabinets. You know what I mean? In my opinion, he had one term in there. It seemed like he went through two different cabinets.
Oh
As
yeah, he
far
did.
as what I mean,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
far as switching over people, and it seemed like he was doing it every year. But I think two times that it really flipped over, where the representative, the person that was talking for him, spokesman for the White House, changed, and this, that, and third. But I
So
say
well,
that.
here, check this out. Check this
Hold on,
out.
hold on.
Like
I say
like
that
let's
because
let's say you get in. Let's say
wait,
you
wait,
get
wait,
in.
wait,
Let's
wait,
say
wait,
you.
wait, hold on. I say that because as a president, again, you ha- I'm not saying that I am saying you're supposed to be on a certain plateau. You're not supposed to be dealing with people that have seedy backgrounds. You understand? You're supposed to be correct when you step into that White House, in my opinion. But then
Oh yeah, I
again,
agree with you.
then again, if you be real with the world, nobody's perfect. So you could come in there with shady people, but then you got to reform yourself, reshape your cabinet to where you got enough to stand out people that's going to do the best for you. And I just think also,
So wait. Time out, Doc. Doc. I wanna put you in that position. Okay. So November 7th, Doc gets elected for president, and since you're not a politician, Trump wasn't a politician either. He was just a real estate mogul. Okay. But he can put a lot of irons and a lot of fires, and he can handle a lot of shit, just like Elon Musk. He's got six different fucking companies, and he runs them all at once. Okay. Now, okay, let's say Doc has got all that resume. Okay, you got all that talent, you got all that knowledge, but you go into politics instead of the rap game or the stock market game or the real estate game. But your real estate game, your rap game, all of these these particular aspects of how to figure out who's going to do the right thing for you and who's not. Now, you got all these resumes turned into you, and you're like, okay, you know what? This guy says he can do this, that, and the other thing. Okay, let's bring him in here, have a phone call real quick with him. All right, FBI, I want you to do a background check on him and just make sure that he doesn't have any shady shit in his past or anything like that. Because I like this guy. I want to put him in charge of this, that, and the other thing. Okay. So you hire this asshole, and I say he's an asshole because he doesn't want to do his job. He's with the WHO, or he's with the New World Order, or he's with the fucking the WEF, the World Economic Forum, and he wants to do little things to fuck Trump up. You know, he's a little plant, and if he goes by this, if he passes through the screening process, he's that one more guy that could chip away at what Trump has ready for the people. So that's why he seems like he went through an entire cabinet during his presidency, because he got in there and all these people that he kind of vetted, he realized that he incorrectly vetted them. And like I said, in the interviews that I just seen in this past couple of weeks, he's been admitting that. He's been saying, hey, you know what? All these guys that I ran up against in 2016, they were all prior governors. They were all congressmen. They were all politicians at one point in time. He says, me, I've never been a politician. I'm only a businessman. So at the end of the day, you know, there are key words that a politician will hear, and they'll just turn away from it. You know, if they have one particular objective in mind. So I really want to strain that Trump has been very human about the mistakes that he made in the White House, simply because he didn't know what these fools were capable of until they put him in the seat. And once you get him in the seat, it's the same thing as being a manager at a, you know, at a store. You got all these people in front of you. You hire this new guy. He says you can fold clothes. You go over there and it looks like a fucking disaster. It's like, okay, well, you give the guy a chance. Hey, can you fold him up, this, that, and the other thing? Give him a chance to improve himself. No, you said you could fold when you turned in your resume to me, or you turned in your application to me. You said you worked at Kmart. You said you worked over at Target, and you said you knew how to fold clothes. If you don't know how to do the job, get the fuck out of here. Hit the bricks. You know, and it's not just folding clothes that we're dealing with, though. It's a bad analogy on my part. You know, this is the country we're talking about. So Trump asked this guy to do.
But that wasn't all what was going on in his cabinet. Like I said, also too, if I don't want this show to be a Trump bash either, because at the end of the day, Kamala Harris ain't also doing what she's doing either. You know what I mean? Because it seems like I'm Trump bashing, but I got a lot of questions about his decisions with his cabinet. His spokeslady at the time, I can't remember her name. She was a strong individual. She was a strong individual. And then once the lies that Trump was saying was coming out to pasture, that, you know, that it was being flipped, that, oh shit, like she realized that, you know, it's not corresponding with what's going on in the world. So she like, nah, I can't fuck with it. So she never came back for the second. Oh, where you got that?
Oh, that was Kelly.
Yeah, okay.
You got the con. You got the con.
Yeah. My bad. I was like, what happened to y'all?
No, you're straight, man.
So when she left and shit like that, you know, she do question marks inside the administration. But again, like I said, I don't want to make this show like I'm bashing Trump or anything like that.
No, Doc, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. As a matter of fact, what I would say is bash away, homie. I think that you got some points that have been resting on your mind for some time, and you know, at least. Oh, did we lose Doc?
No,
he's still here. Oh, okay. No, but I mean, I want to put your mind at ease, you know, especially when it comes down to it. Now, the recent question that you just asked was about Kelly McEnany. Kelly McEnany was the press secretary for Trump, and she did a fantastic job, if you ask me.
I didn't like her, but I think she did a good job too.
Yeah, she was always prepared, unlike the current lady, Jean-Pierre, Karine Jean-Pierre, KJP, right? Yeah, KJP. Karine Jean Pierre is her name, and the woman acts as though, and I don't want to talk smack or anything like that, but she acts as though she's constantly reading these canned responses to the to the media that are asking questions. I don't think that she looks up from her notes very often. Now that's a pretty specific thing, like but at the same time, you're a press secretary. You're supposed to be able to read a sentence or two, look up and address everybody, and maybe look down occasionally to a note to remind you of what direction you're going. Um, KJP and what's her face, Jen Psaki, the white girl with the red hair. That Jen Psaki is much smarter, but there was only so much Jen Psaki could do with the Biden administration when she would go before the media to answer any questions. And fortunately, the Democrats have the media in their pockets. They don't. They could ask her softball questions, and still, that they were. It didn't seem like they were being asked softball questions, unless the Fox News guy or the what's the other conservative Newsmax reporters. The Newsmax reporters would ask more complicated questions, and there were always dodgy answers. Kelly McEnany was always specific to answering each and every of the questions that she received. And it's not to say, well, yeah, Kelly McEnany was a better press secretary all the way around. It's just that it seemed like she was born for that particular role in life. Excuse me, she was very detail oriented. You can go back and look at a lot of the answers that Kelly gave the press throughout Trump's presidency. And one of the main reasons why she did her job so well is because she was being asked a lot of ridiculous questions or she was fielding a lot of ridiculous questions from the media just to make Trump look bad. I wish I'm a little short on examples, but when it comes down to press secretaries, they're you can't compare. There's one press secretary that was better than two of them. That just blows my mind. So yeah, that's as far as the press. And that's another thing too.
I, I,
Growing up,
I was talking
I was growing
about
up.
the woman that I was talking about was Sarah Sanders.
Sarah. Oh my God, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, right?
Yeah,
Yes. Uh, yeah, she didn't do her job well. She didn't do her job well at all. And that's what sucks. There were a lot of times where the press would ask her a question, and she would be dumbfounded, searching through her notes for an answer. Not even giving a kind of a. She didn't even stall that well to. Yeah, Sarah Huckabee, man. She was a press secretary for Trump, or was
yeah,
she for?
But didn't
Yeah, Trump.
Huckabee run for office?
Yes,
yeah.
she
Well,
did.
Huckabee, her father was governor. She became governor as well. She had governor office.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay. Because I know
Yeah,
that
there's
name,
a
and you got to think sometimes. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. You got to think sometimes
yeah,
when these people got in and they got in with Trump, they're sitting there thinking we're in here with an amateur, we're in here with a novice. This guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing or talking about. So I'm gonna go at my job in a laissez-faire, let's say democratic way. I'm gonna,
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
whatever because what does it really matter? This guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And then it turns out after he gets wind of what's going on, he's catching on more and more. You gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. Everybody gets to get the fuck on because you're trying to play
Yep.
me like I'm a sucker.
And
So you gotta
that's
go.
a
Bye.
lot of that took place. So not only did
Yeah.
he make a lot of the good changes as far as like support for the NHSBC, the
An- another question
oh
for you,
not
Moves. Another
yes
question
sir.
for you, Moves. Do you think that Pence was supposed to sign his signature on on the piece of paper that Trump wanted him to sign about not secure, not saying that the votes was confirmed
Okay.
as being.
Yeah. My opinion, which is of nothing. These are the ramblings of a madman, and this is all up here for purely entertainment senses or purposes. But my opinion is that the deep state got to Pence, and that's exactly why we have this clusterfuck right now. All Pence had to do was sign that motherfucking and concede. And now here's some weird shit. I'm glad you asked this question. But anyway, I'll get to the weird shit here in a second. Um, like take for instance the noose that was put up out in front of D.C. or in front of the White House or the Capitol, one of the two, and then it was supposed to be have some sort of correlation to Pence, not signing this. It was somebody put up. Dude, the hangman's little box that they made, well, it had to be for a little person. It was like 4 foot tall. There's no way that 6 foot Pence could be hanged to his death for that in any way, shape, or form. But what they did is they took a close-up shot of it, and they made it look like an actual hangman's, a gallows. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, the gallows that they made were super small, but when they got up close to it and took a picture of it, it looked like somebody built a gallows out there threatening Pence, and it was that was such horseshit. But okay, so here's the weird shit, right? So Mike Pence refuses to sign, and the election is held. Biden gets sworn in. One of the first elected or first oh god, one of the first executive orders that they signed is saying that the vice president is no longer the person that could confirm. No bullshit. We were so there were so many changes that were going on that we forgot that Joe Biden had actually signed an executive order. And they had changed the law where they need a portion of the House or a portion of Congress to agree. So, like, Kamala Harris is so full of shit. She goes on and she goes, "Well, he has to go. I have to verify or ratify or codify or whatever the fuck it is. If he wins the election." And she doesn't have that power anymore. And not only that, um, yeah, it goes to a vote of some sort. And I just recently saw a story on it today. So now, as far as yeah, that's the weird thing. The weird thing is that the very power that Kamala could have used before that executive, like before Joe Biden, they shot themselves in the foot. Because if they had left the law alone and Trump wins the election, Kamala Harris would still have the power to be like, fuck you. Nope. You
Yeah,
didn't win. I did.
but that was the whole point of taking that power away, because now if I chose my buddy to be my vice president and he's going to ride with me with whatever I say, you know what I mean? Then he's supposed to sign that, and if Pence and Trump was tight, which they wasn't, just like I don't think Trump and Vance is tight, you know what I mean? Then you would have that backing and knowing that your buddy's going to sign that piece of paper for you without no problem, you know what I mean? But that was the issue, that he knew that Pence wasn't going to sign that piece of paper, you know what I mean? He knew that.
But that duty, I don't think that duty is supposed to be impartial. I think you are supposed to be partial, meaning that I think you are supposed to be buddy with each other, because should something happen to the main guy,
I'm not saying that you're not supposed to be buddy, but then your buddy's going to sign that piece of paper, you know what I mean? So that's why they had to change the law and say that, you know what, I'm not going to have my buddy. We're not going to have his buddy or her buddy sign that piece, be able to sign that paper. Let's have someone that's partial. That's going to look at the fact and
on that explanation, Doc. On that explanation, Doc, I actually kind of agree with you on that one, because I don't think it really should be up to one person, but at the same time,
I mean,
excuse me, only this past like 8 years, or I want to say 12 to 16 years of when I've actually started really paying attention to politics. So, like, I don't know how I'm shooting myself in the foot. Like, take for instance, when they were talking about taking away or banning the filibuster. Now, filibuster sounds like a silly word, and if you want to learn about the filibuster, there's a good movie called Mr. So and So went
Google.
to, huh?
There's a good movie called Google. If they want to learn about filibusters, Google it.
Oh yeah, Google it. Yeah, Google filibusters. Okay. Well, this this allows you. Let's say you got you've got a gripe with Congress. Okay, the filibuster allows you to speak as long as you can speak. Okay, on the idea, and it's supposed to take up time. It's supposed to just beat a dead horse to the point where people finally start making sense. Okay, it's a very unique tool as far as debate is concerned, and it's actually really, really, really important. And when you start talking about making these huge changes or even temporary huge changes, that's where I get uneasy because I haven't been in the country or I haven't paid enough attention to the country's laws to see how the lack of a filibuster can affect the country because it's there in the first place for a reason or another. So it's like, wait, before we do anything, do away with anything, let's figure out what it actually does. So like, yeah, I got to do my homework on the filibuster. I should be able to explain it a little bit more than what I am right now. But at the same time, it's like, wait a second. Us regular Joes that go to your average everyday job, we're going to go, what? Filibuster? Okay, well, who gives a fuck, But at the same time, that may be the one thing, that one weakness that isn't a weakness now, but 2 or 3 days from now, 2 or 3 months from now, we're screwed. You know, we don't see the forest before the trees, and that's how somebody's taking burning one over on us. And that's the
Mhm.
last thing I want to do. I don't want to get caught up in voting with my passions in any way, shape, or form. From this point on, I don't want to vote because I feel about something. I want to vote because somebody said, if you follow A, B, C, and D, E, F, G, and H is going to happen. And this is how it makes sense. And this is how it's going to fucking, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is exactly what, all we have to do is this, and we can get this. And if I like that end result, I want to vote for it. I don't want some guy to tell me, you know, I'm disappointed in the white votes, you guys. It's about time for you guys to not vote who you fucking want to vote for. You guys get back on this side over here, and it's exactly what Obama did just recently. I took the words right out of his mouth. He said, "I'm actually really disappointed in the black vote." And I was like, "Holy shit! Why don't you call all these brothers back over to the Democratic plantation, man?" Because that's exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to con you into feeling a certain way. Because Obama was disappointed. He wants you to go out there and vote for Kamala because Obama is disappointed. Fuck you, Obama.
Yeah.
I
I don't
gotta
live my life.
if that's the message, I have to concur with that with
I,
the
yeah, I
thoughts
don't
and the
live my
feelings.
life.
I can't.
Yeah, I
That
don't
can't
live
get
my life
behind
for
that.
nobody. I don't live my life for nobody but me. I don't live it for Obama. I don't live it for Trump. I don't live it for my brother. I don't live it for my dad. I live life for me. And like, if you'd have started off that conversation and said, "Hey, you guys vote for who you vote for," but I'm gonna let you know these are the numbers. Kamala's at this number and Trump is at this number, and you guys decide. Hey, you know what? I'd have been completely fine with that. But if I was a black dude and here
Listen
we're
here.
having, yeah,
Listen here.
listen here,
Real quick. It's a
yeah,
damn. It's some type of fucking agenda with this
yeah,
bullshit.
there is.
This is like two. Like, all right, you got two people. Well, Trump to me is more suited than Kamala Harris. He's already been there. He knows the ins and outs now. A little, and she's been the VP, but she hasn't done shit. And she's basically been the interim president because Papa Joe has been sleeping. So she hasn't done the shit she's promising now. Shorty, you could have been implemented some of this shit and you could have been showing either results or negativity. Hey, we tried to do this, that didn't work. Now we're gonna try this. And then you got the guy
Oh,
Trump. who's not a fucking, he's not a politician, not a political guy. Let me give myself the con real quick. He's not a political guy. So no one is taking this man serious. The cabinet is not taking him serious. Like, you got this fucking guy, it's just money, money, money with this guy. Business, business, business. So you got I don't even think the buddy buddy relationship shit, that's not gonna, they just threw a guy in there with, I don't think Pence even wanted to be there. And I'm believing another belief. If Pence was there, it's like, all right, if Trump can win twice, then it'll be my turn to go up. Because I really do believe that they have terms like, yo, you got 2030, you got 2034, you got 2038 if you're still alive. And I think they just go about it like that. I don't. The way they did it in the way they spoke on it kind of briefly in Head of State. Yeah, that was a comedy, it was a movie, but there's always truth to jokes and shit.
Well,
And I
and
do believe these folks do have their chances at given years. And they
Yeah,
don't
what's
respect
really
Trump enough.
scary.
I think this shit with Trump, because Trump is not a fucking politician. Trump is not going to get the respect he deserves. Well, he's more respected now, but in terms of that first term, he didn't get the respect he deserved. That's why he had to find out people were shitty at their jobs the hard way, because they were sitting there like, well, shit, what the fuck? Like I said earlier, what does he know? Yeah, I'm going to lie on my resume. Why not?
When the man gets more indictments and he's investigated more than Alphonse Capone, there's something wrong. And I'm not saying there's something wrong with Trump's character. I'm saying there's something wrong with the media. Somebody's out for somebody, because this guy grew up, or we grew up watching this guy as a hero to a certain level of degree. He was
You are
the
true. That's
earmark
true.
of,
The money.
yeah, he was the earmark of American success. Absolutely. And like, if there was
No,
anybody in the United States that
time out.
could, yeah.
Who went after Trump? Letitia James went after Trump. Why did she go after Trump? Trump was bullshitting when the black people were protesting with George Floyd. Again, I'm going to say this every show, that when he protested, he was going against black people. We shouldn't protest. Oh, y'all animals. Y'all protesting, y'all wilding, you're doing this. Now, he didn't investigate, is the agitators in there doing this? Is the agitator doing that? No, that was just blaming black people. And when football players decided to stand up and take a knee, he was calling them their mothers. What he said about Odell Beckham when he went to go piss on the thing, he said something, and it was very disrespectful, bro. And it was something.
Okay, now as far as
hold on. So the teacher James went after him because of all of that backlash. You know what I mean? And she didn't like him anyway. So you came from New York and you talking that racist shit. You understand? And I'm calling it racist.
Time out for a second.
One at a time.
Yeah, you can't run for a position on going after the president.
But she didn't run in a position. She got a position. She did. She rose from the bottom, from district attorney, bro. Like, she came from dirt. She came from Bed-Stuy dirt.
Yeah,
I see you, bro.
Yeah, but she ran on indicting Trump after this. I mean, I don't know. I'm mixing her up with somebody else. There was another.
No, she made a point. She made a point.
It was a mayor that went after Trump, wasn't it?
No, she's the attorney general right now for.
No. But it was the mayor of New York City that went after Trump. He went. He campaigned against. He campaigned for mayor, saying that he was going to get Trump. See, that's the thing. That's political. Yeah, but that's attacking your political, using the judiciary to attack. Yeah, okay. Give me a second. Using the law, which is called lawfare, to go after your political opponent. It's illegal. You shouldn't do it in any way, shape, or form. And you're not supposed to investigate. You're not supposed to use the FBI to investigate. You're not supposed to use the CIA. You're not supposed to use the NSA on citizens unless they've broken some sort of fucking law, which they didn't. And you've got all these investigations as far as Trump is concerned, and all you have is indictments. That's it. You know, the guy was indicted something, or he's been sued over 70 something times. and none of this stuff has ever stuck simply
I'm
because
going.
there's been using lawfare.
I'm going to continue on saying this too. Trump is not part of their agenda. When I said their agenda, I'm talking
No,
about whoever running the show of the world. You know what I mean? He's not part of their agenda. Never has been. He was a guy that happened to play and fiddle inside this thing and found out that he could really win this shit and put it all in and won the shit. You know what I mean? So that's how
yeah,
Trump got into this shit. You know what I mean? And the fact that he realized that he got a following, and that's what Trump always wants. You know what I mean? He wants that attention focus on him. Um, but
but
the
he already had the following
rhetoric that
before he even ran.
the
That's the
rhetoric that
thing.
he
That's the thing about. But that's the thing about Trump. He had that following before he even ran.
no, true,
Remember, because
true,
we were looking
true,
up to him as the mogul. We were looking up to him
Yeah,
already,
true,
so he already had the following because he was
true.
the man in the fucking 80s and 90s.
Yeah. And again, it goes to show that we liked him because dude had all the fucking money. He had all the real estate in
He
New
had
York.
money, yeah.
Where did the rappers that we like came from? Came from New York. Oh shit, Tyson hanging with Trump. Trump is talking some good shit, but yet he's still moving how he moving. And if you did background on him and his real estate business, you would see that he had racist ways. He wouldn't allow black people to purchase his place, his real estate place, or whatever the case. His father was the same way too. You understand? But when you feed the energy off of that, bro, and I seen it
no,
change
I'm
myself.
feeling like
I
a.
lived in New York. I lived in New York
I'm
all my life. I
yeah,
lived in
I'm
New York
feeling like
all
a
my life until
gentrification kind
3 years
of.
ago. I ain't never had a white person, maybe back in the 80s, if anything, say anything. I heard a white person say nigga out loud, bro. You know what I mean? But I
Okay.
walked. I was in my car and the guy was walking. He felt so comfortable whenever exchange that we had while he was crossing the street and I was waiting at the stop sign, or he didn't have to stop, or
Yeah,
I had the right of way, he was crossing anyway. That nigga had the nerve to say nigga. And it
yeah.
wasn't like he was in the car driving by. He just felt so comfortable, for like, you know what, nigga,
He
whatever,
just looked
whatever.
at. So he just looked at some random black dude and said the N word right to you.
We
I'm
had
not
it.
saying.
We
I'm
had
not doubting it. I'm not.
whatever discussion
I'm
we
not.
had, and whatever was, shut the fuck up, nigga. After that, whatever closing
Uh,
statement was to him that he felt comfortable with, that's what it was. And I was like, I was shocked. I'm
wow.
on you. I was
I
shocked.
am
I was
too.
like, yo, huh?
But I'm shocked too because like I'm in the South here, bro, and the
More like the
it's so
Midwest.
weird. I'm in Kentucky, dude. I'm in the South, oh, you're in the Midwest, yeah. And
No, I think you're in the Midwest. I'm in the South.
no, no. Well, you're in the South, okay, yeah. But I kid you not, my town that I'm in Kentucky divides the North and the South during the Civil War. There are so many
Okay.
like dead bodies, all kinds of shit, dude. So I'm still technically okay in the South. But anyway, I refuse to admit that it may be a flyover state. Okay, so anyway,
It is.
but I love it, dude, because Harp isn't
No,
throwing
no,
those
no,
storms
no.
on.
It's
Hey,
peaceful. It's
hey,
peaceful.
Harp isn't throwing any storms our way, so I'm happy. Like okay. Anyways, bad
Yeah.
joke. Is it too soon? But no, no. Uh, but I'm in the South, right? And uh, folks out here, I've been in the same little town. I say little. There's just over 1,000 people in this town. That's it. There's like
Yeah,
to
it's
give you an
peaceful.
idea,
Definitely
that's
peaceful.
like half a block of people. Okay, like
In New York.
it's like yeah, it's like a half a block of people in New York, right? There's a small town. It's all kind of spread out. And well, for New York, it's spread out, but for this place, it's a nice little teeny tiny town. And uh, it's weird because I get maybe it's because they know I'm from New York, or maybe or that I moved here from New York, or I raised in California. Uh, I, I could go on and bust my ass and build houses and move furniture and do all this like labor type of stuff. and I don't think I've ever gotten the closeness or brotherly closeness to somebody enough for them to feel comfortable to saying it. Um, I even tried to sneak it around here and there to see if, like, because I think this motherfucker's racist, right? Like maybe, you know. So like, I'll start a conversation with like some stereotypes or some shit like that to see if they join. Like, this
Oh, you
stupid
trying to find
stereotype.
out who's the piece of shit without finding out who's the piece of shit.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm trying to figure out who's a piece of shit without turning into a piece of shit myself. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? It's like, because if you go towards the demon, if you're hunting the demon and you try to mock him because you're trying to catch him, you may end up being a demon yourself. So, like, I'm trying to avoid that at all costs. And and trust me, when I was being called an N word in New York City, and it wasn't like they were sticking the landing, it was Nigga, and like the first dude that ever called me his N word, it was like, dude, I ain't never been nobody's N word before, man. And he said, "Shut up, man."
Can- Yo, can
Like,
I guess? What was it? Was it Jay?
no, yeah, I think it was Jay. Either way, like I walked up and he's like, "What's up, man?" And I'm like, he just, and I told him, I said, "Man, Jay, I ain't never been nobody's before, man. Shit, dude." He said, "Just shut up, man." Because
Yeah,
I had to make
yeah,
him
that
joke
sounds
about it.
like Jay.
Like, I wasn't even allowed to say words like that. I didn't come close to fucking saying words like that because that was a curse word in our house. So like, um, and my folks were more worried about image when they said there's no cussing, because the N word was just as bad as cussing. So like, it doesn't say anything about the value of it, but at the same time, it's like, um, out here, I realized like there's one buddy of mine out here. He's got three baby mamas, and they all white, and he is like purple gums, like African black. Like, he is dark black, and like he's like he's like patent leather, right? And it was.
Yo,
I'm like, whoa! I like, this is wild to me, man. I'm like, whoa, this is like, it's cool, man. He got a bunch of kids with all three of these broads, and I would have thought that somebody would, since this is the South and everybody's all, white around here, there's hardly any black folks around here. And I figured they would have shot him, or he'd end up missing or something like that after the first kid. But no, man, he's got a bunch of mixed kids, and everybody loves him. The three gals that he landed, man, were, they're pretty strong, powerful names. They're big families here in this little area, and they've got a lot of farmland. They got a lot of money. So this kid, should something happen, hey, you know what? They're taken care of for the rest of their fucking lives.
brother,
It's kind
it's
of
the
weird.
21st
That's
century, brother. It's the
exactly
21st century, brother.
beautiful.
It's the same as you being. It's almost the same as you being up here with us. It's not taboo anymore. It's like anyone who's still trying to live in that fucking, last fucking century shit. Like, what's wrong with you, bro? It's not
That's
19
the
nothing
thing.
anymore. Nobody
That's the
cares.
scariest thing.
Nobody cares.
The scariest thing, man, is like either one side or the other, okay? Because there's frustration in life on both sides, whether you're white or black, okay? Let's just turn it to white and black for
Hmm.
now, and just for the sake of the conversation. They,
All right.
they both work their asses off. They'll both try to raise their families the best. They'll both do whatever it takes, the whole 9 yards. And not only that, and Lord knows, man, if you don't know, just go ahead and read the Bible. The Bible's not that there promise you any kind of rainbows or cloudy or sunny days. It's just miserable shit, and how to deal with it, and how to find a compass through this miserable world. It's not but anyways, I'm not going to talk. My point is that knowing, if you acknowledge that this world is pretty shitty and it's not supposed to be ice cream at noon every day, that eventually all of this stuff can add up to frustration, and somebody lashes out or explodes or something to that effect.
The
And
wrong way.
that's
Right.
and that is the best way to explain or describe both parties. I wasn't describing a black or white man at that point, because both of those that cross to bear is still the same on both sides. It's just a different world.
Listen,
So
it's the same shit, brother. We're the fucking
yeah,
same except for the fucking pigmentation, and we're still the same. Like you
Mhm.
just said, we get
That's a
up, we
fact.
go bust our ass, we come back home, bring the food to the family, complain under our breaths about God damn it,
Exactly.
blah blah blah. I need
yeah,
more,
but
I need
check this
blah
out.
blah
No,
blah
but
blah,
what I'm
and
building
it's
up
gonna
to.
do the same shit.
No, but what I'm building up
But
to is
I
you
said
got
that.
half an
I
hour.
said that
No, you
last
come
week.
home. No, no, but check this out. You got a half hour, 45 minutes to yourself when you get home, all right? So you flip on MTV or BET, and guess what? You got who pushing Obama? You got who pushing fucking Hillary? You got who pushing the Democratic Party when they were going up against Trump? It was P. Diddy.
Right.
P. Diddy was standing right next to Hillary, standing right next to Obama. And you mean to tell me that they didn't know with the CIA, NSA, and all that? No, they didn't give a fucking care. They didn't care. They didn't give a shit at all.
Listen,
They
let
didn't
me
give a
ask you a
shit at all
question,
what
A
that man
Rod.
was up
I mean,
to.
my fault. Shit, moves. Let me
You're
ask you a
good.
question.
You're good. You're good.
I'm not even sure. Both of you, if any one of you have the knowledge, because I don't know how I fucking don't. But is it the Democrats that are trying to push for the lowering of the age of consent?
Yes.
Who? That is
Yes.
the Democrats.
That is the
Yeah. Okay.
Democrats. They're also pushing for the surgery for children.
Yeah, that part
Corrective
I already
surgery for
know. That
transgender.
part I already know. That
That
part I
right
know.
there
It was
would
the
like cooler heads would always prevail the very second I start hearing the potential harm of a child, and this is happening. This isn't like potential harm. This isn't something that
oh
we're
no,
considering.
it's that
This is
yeah.
something that is already fucking passed, and it's a threat to our children in this society. It's fucking scary, you know. And fuck, dude, I'd be in prison right now if I had a kid that came home and told me half the shit that I've heard, other parents saying. I
Right,
mean,
right. Try
there's
to don't
fucking
get too emotional. Hey,
yeah,
moves, don't get too
straight up.
emotional. Don't let your
Yeah,
language
yeah.
get
Don't get me
crazy.
started on that, right?
Don't
So
get
yeah,
too
yeah. Because
emotional.
they're gonna like this.
But I feel you.
But
I
anyway,
understand you, brother,
uh,
because I understand. That's my whole point of doing these political shows. Because I don't get. I used to not give a damn about politics, but when now you're adding these surgeries and people getting bussies and you doing this stuff for the dudes in Chino and turning them into like prisoners. Like, why is my money going to something that sounds kind of private to me? Like, why does
well,
my tax money have to fund this bull? Because that's what it is. It's
hey,
bullshit.
I gotta try. Oh,
I
you want to
think
hear some more bullshit? All right, so
I think Obama. I think Obama started that. To be honest with you, I think he like to get.
But not the way they try to do it now, bro. He probably had it in a reasonable way. Like, hey, listen, if you feel like this,
Well,
you should be able to. But I don't know if he had us funding that shit. You
nah,
get what I
nah.
mean?
Oh,
Like,
here's a
I think
conspiracy,
Medicaid
bro.
was
Check
funding
this out.
breast implants or something like that. That's where I first heard like it was
the
started.
hormones,
Like,
maybe.
Well,
like stuff like that. Yes.
here's a conspiracy because I was thinking about this shit today. All right, movies like White Man Can't Jump and fucking Higher Learning to fucking hey, come on guys, there's a couple others. What Higher Learning, fucking a White Man Can't Jump, and those films that had a black lead and a white lead, and everybody got to go.
Little racial
Uh,
undertones, yeah.
yeah. And it was like, oh, here, we're just two different cultures, and basically what the movie would say is we're two different cultures, and it was all kind of embarrassing for both parties. And so, like at that point, I think the movies knew that we would look at it and they're like, oh well, the only way that black folks and white folks get along is in the fucking movies. Okay, let's be honest. 48 Hours and uh, Jungle Fever. See, here's some other ones. Oh God, man. But anyways,
But a lot of those, though,
um,
they had to go from
a
hating each
lot of
other
us
to liking each other.
straight the fuck up. That's where I'm going. Is like we kind of looked past the movie magic and and nature found its way. Like we didn't need a film to tell us that we needed to get along. We were already starting to get along as it is, and it starts from like group efforts like team sports. All right, so like check this out. Talk about ripple effect,
Shit,
guys.
the
All right,
military,
so
joining the military.
fucking hey, same
I
thing.
think
But
that was
that's
the first
where
thing that would lead to friendships and unions joining the
oh,
military.
absolutely.
Somebody black
But
saved somebody white life, or vice versa. or however it may be. We are fucking brothers here in this fucking military, man. I don't want to hear none of
Yeah,
that shit.
yeah,
You
yeah,
from Kentucky now? Your
and some of
mom's name
those
is Eva.
spectacular.
Shit, we
Some
are
of
brothers.
some of those some of the things that have taken place in the military have been absolutely miraculous just because of somebody's effort to just go a little bit further. And it's that right there. When
Shout out to the
you
U.S.
have
Armed
somebody,
Forces.
yeah, shout out, baby. We love you guys. Um, but okay. So the reason why I brought up the films, okay, I think that Hollywood did that on purpose to make it to make people try and follow these movies and go, you know what, this is corny. There's no way whatsoever. It's only in the films, and there's no sense in reaching out to those folks that I don't even have a black guy at work, to talk to, or I don't even have a white guy at work to figure out if this movie's right or wrong. I only get to see them at the restaurants, and they act kind of funny when they're in the waiting room at the dentist's office with me and my kids, and that's it. It's only like a kind of a temporary experience that a lot of folks were having because we were kind of tucked within our own little cultures. Now, was it togetherness? Not particularly, but at the same time, were we all at peace? Yeah, for the most part, until those worlds would collide in some of the worst manners, and the media would look at those collisions and just exaggerate the shit out of them. So you got this, you continue this divide between black and white. It's an unfortunate thing, I think, but I think we're waking up now, especially like when a Democrat, and I don't particularly take too much pleasure in this. I take a little bit, but too much pleasure in this when I'm scrolling through Twitter and I see, the picture of Diddy and Obama at a rally, and Diddy's standing there doing the campaign, and he's getting out. His voice is getting out to young black youth and young POC youth and young white youth, and that's how they rallied up those votes. They use music to influence the masses into, and not just music. It was they use all kinds of musical artists, the painting artists, sculptors, and fucking actors to
Entertainers, entertainment,
yeah,
basically, it's entertainment.
yeah, exactly. People are no longer looking at entertainment like the lions in the arena tearing apart the Christians.
No, that's the way of
That
life
used to
now.
be, yeah, but no, no, no. What I'm saying is that, yeah, it is a way of life in the sense that instead of a violent lion taking out somebody, you can see Lawrence Taylor take out fucking whoever's done up to grab the fuck football, and
Yeah, shit.
that's excitement to
Let's
us.
be
That's
for
to
real.
see,
For $3,
to see
it's
Lawrence
entertainment. For
fucking
three
smack
bucks,
the
you can see
shit out of
somebody's
somebody.
butthole.
Or better
You see
yet,
somebody's
no, no,
butthole
no,
for
even
three
better yet,
bucks.
no, better than any butthole whatsoever to watch Walter Payton break not one, not two, not three, four, five tackles and come across into the end zone or get first down at like 15 yards to the fucking dude. The artistry, the whole 9 yards. See, that's the thing. That's what I'm telling you. That's the distraction. Nobody ran like
Right.
Walter Payton. Nobody swung the bat like McGuire. Nobody swung the bat like Canseco. Nobody swung the bat best leadoff man, Ricky Henderson. You get all pumped up in the whole 9 yards. All I have to do is mention a few names, and all of a sudden your blood's
Mm-hmm.
boiling. Yeah, I remember when Refrigerator Perry grabbed Walter Payton and lifted him up over the
Nah, nah,
line
nah. Hold
of
on. I'm
scrimmage.
gonna stop you right
Yeah,
here. I'm gonna stop you right here. Hold on, moves. I'm gonna stop you right here because you made my blood boil. You mentioned Jose Canseco and Mark McGuire didn't say shit about Ken Griffey Jr. So that already proves your fucking point right there. It's like,
oh,
hold
oh,
up. Did he
oh, we're
just
gonna go
fucking
down the whole
mention
list.
Mark
Do I
McGuire and
have to?
Canseco
Do
and
I
not
have?
Griffey Jr.?
Hey, do I have to mention Daryl Strawberry too, or Dave Stewart, or what?
Don't do
Dana
that one. Don't
Nickersley?
do that one. Don't do that one.
I want to
Love
put
you,
Daryl
Daryl.
Strawberry in there with fucking Jose. Jose and Daryl, good
Shit.
buddies right there, man.
See, man, sports also brings cultures together
But
too.
that's
Yeah, facts.
but no, that's
Sports
but
and
but
marijuana.
does it bring
And
cultures
marijuana.
together? Hey, listen. But listen, does it bring cultures together, or is that the arena that we go to now? That's what my point is.
Maybe it
The
brings
arena
men
is in our
together. It
earbuds.
brings men
Hey,
together.
hey,
Pause.
the
No
arena,
Diddy.
the no, but the arena is in our headphones when we listen to music or watching a video. The arena is our phone because we can't get out to the arena anymore because you can't buy tickets to the arena no more. The arena is your computer when you're sitting down watching videos and sucking up time that you can be used to be learning something or something to that effect. It's the compulsory thing that keeps us fucking dumbed down and unfocused so we could continue on to be these working little drones that pay our taxes without looking up. I
Yeah.
think I'll leave it
Now
at that.
everything is a
I think that
distract.
was
Everything is used to make us look left when we should be looking right. We looking at the
okay.
hand. We
So
should
if
be
that
looking
be
at the
the case,
eyes.
why am I continuing to I still listen to Tupac. I still listen to Biggie. I still listen to Nas. As a matter of fact, how you like me now? Dude,
That go
I was
black,
listening to
right?
Nas. Dude, I was listening to that today because y'all used to fucking say that rap on the block there. And I was like, man, it take me back. And
Hmm.
that's the tough part about it because man, there's a good chance that all of that is evil, man. Evil is all hell. And so why run through a fine tooth comb through it and just cast it out altogether? Like I found myself listening to music that's got no lyrics whatsoever. So you got soundtracks to movies,
That's
and you
horrible.
got yeah, it is, isn't it? But at the same time, there's nothing to distract in my mind. Here, this is why I do that. I listen to classical music. I listen to big band. I listen to jazz,
Let me
salsa,
tell you.
all of
I
yeah,
respect that. I
all of
respect
those
that.
things. All of that music does not have lyrics to distract my mind from where I want it to go. So if I'm
I
listening
do
to a
see what you're
particular,
saying there. I see what you're
it
saying.
broadens that out. I've realized that those words are like Billie Eilish, sexy as all hell, man. Don't get me wrong, man. And the little voice and the whole 9 yards. But I don't realize how young she was when I was, because I'm 50 years old, listening to her for the first time, and she's been out for a while. And I don't know what a while is. I don't know if it's 5 years, 10 years, or she was like 13, or like Justin Bieber when he started. I don't know how young she is, man, but she's talking all this seductive shit, and I'm like, wow, this is really kind of fucking.
I
I'm
don't
in
know
my
how old she
arena,
is either. I don't know
yeah,
how old she
but
is.
I'm in my arena. You see what I'm saying? I'm getting the blood pumping like there's no tomorrow. She got that little voice. It's the arena. I'm telling you. Every time I start listening to something like I ain't got no motherfucking friends. Why fuck your bitch? Oh, I kid you not. First off, fuck your bitch in the quick you claim, dude. I get
Hey,
fucked up
emotions,
for
check
it.
the emotions.
Yeah, but I'm in that arena because I'm feeling like revenge on somebody who did me wrong back in the past or some shit like that. And it's probably pretty immature for me to think in the past or something to that effect. But at the same time, I try to put the song in the perspective of where it would fit in the past, and it's like, whoa, wait a second, time out. I'm creating my own arena.
See,
And
now
that's
what you got to
exactly
think
what's
about
been.
with the
Yeah,
music,
go ahead.
brother, as you said, it was meant to send the message. It's supposed to be I like all right. Now you might not be as adept as me, Doc, and then me finding out now, Doc might not even know what he may, maybe not, because I found out I like music more than he does. I didn't think I like music more than anybody, but okay. All the messages I heard it in Harlem's music. You can see it with DMX too. In the mid '90s, they were pushing let's say satanic stuff. Remember, DMX had a album cover with him dripped in what was supposed to be blood, flesh of my
Flesh of
flesh.
my flesh.
You you got that. Then you got
Yeah.
Big L had certain tracks. He called himself the Devil's Son. Then you got even Mace. He got joints saying he choking fuck God. I'm strangling nuns with blessed beads, and he's a man of God himself. But it was like they was
Now here,
pushing
check this
across the
out too. Here's another
satanic
thing too.
thing.
One of the things
That
that the devil does love, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to thump in any way, shape, or form. But my mom had
oh no,
masters
you
in
it's
religion
fine.
teaching, raised Catholic, and it's something. If I see something, I'm going to say something, especially when it comes to the demonic shit. And the thing that gets me, obviously, like we grew up in the Madonna era, and she was the first artist to do the risque uh, risky type of performances and that kind of shit for our generation. You know, each generation had its own floozy, if you will, that kind of just
Of course.
um, that caught the
Now it's
eye
more.
of the simple man. And yeah, it's but the the thing is that the devil loves mockery of God. Okay, so when you got DMX over there, how many prayers do you think he recorded on all this? I think there's at least like six
A
to
lot of them
12
were his
prayers,
own
right?
prayers. He made up his own. Yeah, he was making up his own
Yeah,
prayers.
and I actually memorized a couple of them back in the day. I used to know them. You know, I'd recite them while he was, you know, while I was listening to
I
the
just know
album, and
one.
you know, that
I just
they
know the
just
one off
moved
the
me.
first one.
Yeah, and it just moved me when that somebody from the street could, take a time out to speak to God. But now looking at what's going on, you know, like with all of this stuff coming out. You know, those parties cannot be good. They obviously got to be evil. You know, they're involving young folks and it's involving
Yeah,
drugs
once
and
you
all
start
kinds of
saying
crazy shit.
involving people, drugging people, that's some different shit now. Not It's like
Yeah,
they're not even doing a ritual under their own. Because back in the day, when you got the Mayans and these people, and they were doing sacrifices, people actually like, hey, I'll be the sacrifice. They thought it was a great honor to be these things. You know, during speaking ritualistically, you know what I mean? It was an
yeah, yeah.
honor. Now that
But see,
you
the
sitting
thing
there, you're
is,
drugging somebody unwillingly. It's like, come on now, they don't want to do this. That's how it's supposed. They're supposed to be a willing participant if you're going to be
well,
doing this demonic shit or whatever
the way I look
ritual you're doing.
the way I look at the prayers, one of two ways you could look at the DMX's prayers. Um, you could either look at it in the sense that here he realized that he sold his soul for some sort of success, and that was his way of maybe praying his way out of it, or
Right, I could feel that.
it was it was
No Diddy. Shout out
completely,
to King Combs.
or it was just him mocking God, knowing that hey, I sold my soul,
I
and
don't
guess
think
what?
he was.
And no, listen,
I don't
listen,
think
listen,
he was
listen for a
mocking
second,
God.
just
Go
for a
ahead.
second, just for a second. How many
Got you.
more fans? How many more fans am I going to get, God, if I sit there and say one of these prayers, knowing that I sold my soul? I don't give a shit that I sold my soul. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. I'm making millions. I got all kinds of women, drugs, the finest, all kinds of shit. And you know what? Here's what I got to say to you, God. Since Satan has given me all of this, since the devil has given me all the success and all the street clout and the muscle and the fucking and the success and the the parties, the whole 9 yards. Here's what I got. All right, I'll give you a prayer. I'll let these people even think that I believe in God, and yet you're the one who's fucking leading me. When no. All they got to do is follow me because I'm the rapper that follows God. All right. So next thing you got like that. That would be the ultimate plan. That'd be like
Using
3D
religion as a
chess.
gimmick.
Absolutely. Using the religion as a gimmick to get more souls to be followed by temptation. You know, it's
Okay,
that's the whole thing. You know, tempt
that's a
people. So,
beautiful
anyways,
conspiracy.
I'm like, yeah, it's a biblical conspiracy. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I really hope that DMX is was one of those guys that saw the violence of the streets and it did bring him to his knees to talk to the Lord. I really hope it did. But and at the same time, I can't ignore the possibility because the devil is the devil. He's a deceiver. He's had a whole lot more practice in being evil than we have ever been living. You know,
I
evil's been
kind of
around a lot
think
Facts.
longer than we have.
But then, okay.
either way that it went, whether he was real truthful to the fact that he used what he was going through and made it into a prayer type of thing, or he use it to his advantage to try to get more peoples and use it not as a mockery but use it more so towards uh
So good.
a double-edged sword type of thing. God, let me show you what I could do. Forgive me for
Yeah.
and try to repent type of thing. But
Mm,
but
there you go.
either way, if he was playing with it or not, I believe that he got touched by it. Either or, you know what I mean? Because when he was
No
performing
Diddy.
this stuff,
Shout
yeah,
out to
no
King
Diddy, no
Combs.
Diddy, yeah.
No, shout out to
He
King
definitely,
Combs.
he definitely, he definitely, you know, was touched, no Diddy, you know what I mean? But when he performed on stage, you know what I mean?
See, for
Good.
me, I
Yeah.
think, like he said, I think he's repenting for the shit he did before he got the money. That's why he was so nice to motherfuckers in the street. DMX was one of the most approachable motherfuckers that you could ever meet. You can sit and
No,
walk up
sure.
to him, yo, what's good, blah, blah, blah.
Eh,
Because I saw him on 2 Fifth a million fucking times. And you cannot sit there and go to 2 Fifth and say, yo, I want to be left alone. So what the fuck you come to 2 Fifth for? But
mhm.
he was
Yeah.
always taking pictures. He always taking pictures. He always, he always dapping motherfuckers up. He was always showing love. So I think his prayers was like his repentance for the shit he did before he got to be able to feed himself and his family easily. You get what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
just ended up
And,
Yeah.
fucking up
and
on his
guys,
own or being the
guys,
pressure got to him.
I'm just using DMX as an example of
Oh no,
because
no, no,
it
no,
really
no!
is
It was a good
because he
one.
does.
It was a good one.
Yeah, because he does pray and that kind of thing, and that's where I kind of want to. Uh, I'd
No,
like you guys to leave this. I'd like you guys to leave this conversation with that mindset, to keep a watchful eye on the opposite end of what we feel is good and what we feel is bad. Now, I'm not trying to create doubt in your own philosophy, but at the same time, it's like I think that's part of the main one of the main wedges. I think if we start to understand that nature, I think we're well on our way to being a society that we could start spreading that energy out, so to speak. So
yeah, and good thing you said energy because that's what the vibe is. Because it doesn't matter the words that come out; it goes by the music and the tone of the vibrations that come out from the music. You know what I mean, or come out from
yeah,
the tone of the words. You know what I mean. So that's what plays into our mental that we don't know, or play into our bodies that we don't know that could change our feelings from being real good into a real negative, you know what I mean? And it could be music. It does
yeah.
music does that a lot, you know. And that's why they
Oh
said
yeah.
music could you know, what's the saying? Could savage starve savage beasts, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
cool, the Savage Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So um, in
Shit,
that
they should have said
aspect,
it could create one too.
in that aspect. And to touch on the music industry, a lot of people come in this music industry not knowing that they're gonna sell their soul, or they have to sell their souls to make it big, or whatever the case may be. They get presented that, you know, in the stage, and when they're about to go big, or whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? And it may not be presented
Yeah.
that, you know, blatantly. It may be something that comes sideways to them, you know what I mean?
Hey,
um Pause, you know what I mean?
no, 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 no. I wasn't even thinking like that. Damn, I don't know what happened.
so nah, but yeah, thinking about it, but anyway, it could come, it don't have to come straight forward to you. Pause. So it when you get in that when you get in the music industry, you want to give what you know, and this goes to anybody that raps, and I could go talk about rappers more so than R&B singers, but I think R&B singers do the same thing. But R&B singers also get stuff written for them by people that's
Right.
already in the industry, or there's, you know, that's already floating around in the industry, that someone be like, you here, sing this. Let me see how you sound. Oh, I got a song for you that I want you to sing. Yada yada yada. But in rappers,
Hit this high note.
um,
Hit this high
and,
note.
and when you're a rapper, you rap about what you see, what you live, what's around you. Or you rap about someone else's life that told you the story about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only way that you rapping about hardcore shit in the streets. This, that, and the third. If you live it, or you seen it, or you doing it. You know what I mean? But um, when you get older, when you get in the industry, you no longer dealing with that. You know what I mean? So you no longer hungry for that come up. Pause. You know what I mean? You more so want you going to start rapping about having money. You're gonna start rapping about yachts. You're gonna start rapping about buying girls this, buying girls that. You know what I mean? And then the relationship that you have now with your peoples, it could either get dissolved or you would start detaching from the original people that you came out with. Could not you go on commercial? You know what I mean?
Oh, perfect example. I got a perfect example of that. That would be Buju Banton. Buju Banton, he was a reggae singer that came out with an album called Till Shiloh, and it's one of the best albums you'll ever fucking listen to if you like reggae, man. It's awesome. It's peaceful. It's a lot like
That's
Bob
Doc
Marley.
Flavor.
I hate to say that, but next thing you know, I kid you not, 2 years after he came out with Till Shiloh, he came out with a track release called Driver. Driver A, I think it's called. And he's talking about going to Albemarle and picking up a big fucking trunk load of weed, drive slow, don't get caught by nobody, or you'll end up getting in jail and the whole 9 yards. So he went from this like spiritual guide that I really felt guided because when I did listen to his music, I felt peaceful and man, I kid you not, there's not an African that you can talk to that doesn't know who Buja Banton is, man. It's pretty cool that when I would meet people from Africa out
Shit.
in New York,
But
I'd
Buju
start singing
Banton's been
his,
out since the '90s, the early '90s. He's been
yeah,
out
straight
like
up,
a long time.
Yeah.
straight up, and I'll start singing like, "Oh, work like a champion, talk like a champion," and then I'm not going to do it on the podcast here, yeah, because it's loud and fucking, it's kind of embarrassing, but I sound like the motherfucker, and because I love music and the whole 9 yards. But like I said, it did come out in the '90s, but a couple of years after his success, and he got a lot of ears. All of a sudden, he's talking about all this gangster stuff, and it's like, whoa, wait a second, what happened to the peaceful this, that, and the other thing? And he's talking about picking up weed in Brooklyn. It's like worlds apart. And I was like, oh shit, well. That's one more artist that I'm not going to be listening to anymore because he just went. He must have signed some sort of deal and saying that and promoting this lifestyle because that lifestyle right there is going to hurt people. It's going to get people in jail. It's going to cost money. It's going to cost the taxpayers money. It's like all that peaceful stuff was going to lead people to better lives and making better decisions and being at peace with themselves and see how the difference of what the message can make. It's that ripple effect. So like you said, people start rapping about the things that they see, but once you get into that business, they start telling you, hey, you know what, this would be a great song for you. This would be a great beat for you. They start, some of them start guiding you, but at the same time, a lot of these people that are filling out, oh, I forgot. It starts with an A. I'll think of it here in a second. But these people that are filing
Affidavits.
affidavits, these people who are signing affidavits, thank you very much. These people who are signing affidavits against P. Diddy are straight up saying, you know what? Nobody, and I mean nobody, gets into business without going through Diddy or going through my um, Davis, fucking Clive Davis.
Clive
And
Davis,
then
yeah.
that's that's
Ah, see,
a
you know
big
about that.
fucking yes, I do. Yes, I do. And that's the thing, man.
Brother, why you never
That's why
joined
you.
the joint about P. Diddy, brother? You know about the Clive Davis. I
Yeah,
just thought like,
I do.
oh man, cause
Clive,
Jaguar Wright mentioned that. Like she was like, you gotta go to the person who basically who bred P. Diddy, Clive Davis. And
yeah,
I'm sitting there like,
yeah.
oh shit.
It goes back
Man, you
like
better stop
Rolling
playing
Stones.
moves. Stop playing moves.
Yeah, dude, it goes back like Rolling Stones era type of shit. This stuff just didn't start with P Diddy, man.
It goes
They've been
back
doing this
before
shit.
that. It goes back, yeah,
Um,
forever. Because they
And,
started
yeah,
with actors and
David.
actresses.
There was a woman that came forth later on when she was an adult. She said that she lost her virginity to David Bowie. And I don't know. She alleged it. I don't know what happened, whether he settled out of court, or settled out of court, or in court, whatever the fuck. You've got I don't know how many counts Motley Crue. I think their members went one by one with underage charges and that kind of shit, but they all walk away from this shit. It's all they're in court one day, and then there's no follow up story from the news.
because
So like
everybody
they
was
got
Because it
settling
got
out of
swept under the
court.
rug.
Everybody was
Yeah,
settling out
everybody
of
yeah,
selling
court.
for that
precisely.
bread.
Yeah, dude, it was heavy metal bands. It was there's a conspiracy theory, and like I'm a legend. This is allegedly, but God damn it, I just said his name a while back. He's a country singer, matter of fact. Uh, Anyways, there's this country singer that and I'll think of his name here in a second, but uh, there was this conspiracy that during his tour dates, everywhere he stopped, there would be a woman missing. And they
Oh
started drawing
shit.
conclusions. They're like, "Whoa, wait a second! This is some freaky shit." Garth Brooks, yes. There's a conspiracy theory about Garth Brooks, allegedly. Okay, I'll just leave it at that because
You
they
said
haven't
Garth
really
Brooks?
drugged up with it. Yeah, country western singer Garth Brooks, man, no bullshit. It's like,
Wow.
holy shit! I was just blown away when I heard this one. So yeah, that's one of those little investigations that either I can't remember if it was debunked or not, because country western is really well known for its own like
Stories.
wholesomeness, and stories, faith of God, salt of the earth type of folks. So like it's easy to stay on the good side of the tracks, if you will, when it comes down to lyrics and that kind of stuff. But then again, country western music has its own skeletons in its own closets too. It's but at the same time, not
Could
as
be
much
racist.
as I don't know about racism, because there's like
Shit.
I was
Johnny
brought up
Rebel.
listening.
Look up Jimmy Rebel. Look up Jimmy Rebel.
Yeah, yeah. Johnny Rebel. You got David Allen Coe. I'll name off a couple of artists because half my family is all pioneer stock hillbilly. Okay, they live off the land. They hunt what they eat. They grow what they eat. Um, they
Those are some of the toughest fucking people in America. I'll tell you that now.
absolutely they go to town. Check this out, guys. We go to town once a month. Okay, to get the sugar and the flour that they needed, and that's pretty much all they.
Yeah. To get
And every once in a while,
spices.
they'd have to sell a cow or something like that, so they'd have to go into the local auctioneer and that kind of stuff. All right, so like real southern gentry, occasionally racist white folks. Okay, and
Right.
And when I say occasionally, like they have more things to worry about than what black folks were doing from day to day. They had to worry about waking up at 4 a.m. to get out to the forest at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. They already got their wives were be up at 4:30 in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning cooking their breakfast already. So when they woke up at
So
four
they
four
could go
thirty,
hunt.
breakfast was ready. Yeah, breakfast was ready, and they would leave at the house at 4:30. I kid you not. I lived like this for like 2 weeks, and my relatives insisted on it. It was a part of me becoming a man. It wasn't like us going camping or anything. They had My brother and I had to learn how to live off the land, simply because it was the only way my family on that side of the family knew how to survive. And they would curse up a storm. I kid you not, before computers or anything. They were like, if the power goes out right now, these boys, they point to me and my brother, these boys, they wouldn't know a damn thing. And they were right. They'd be like, I would wake up and go to school and then come home and watch the Incredible Hulk and watch Wonder Woman. And my dad would watch the news, and I go to bed at night, and then I go wake up and go to school again. There ain't no waking up at 4:30 in the morning, going hunting all day to make sure that you're going to eat meat that night. Um, yeah, then you got your wife out in the garden all day. She's pulling up carrots and potatoes and corn and whole nine yards. So you all need your vegetables that night, and that's how they live. There is no going to the store. There is no going to the gas station for a quick cigarette or a quick pack of cigarettes or a beer or two or anything like that. They don't drink. They don't do drugs. They read the Bible. They go. That's rinse, wash, and repeat. They do that every fucking day. Now, um, there were a couple of David Allan Coe songs that I heard when I was a kid, and also when I was a kid, I had one of my relatives say that all the black folks dealt the drugs and the Mexicans did the drugs. So you stay away from both. Okay, that's how stupid they were,
Yo.
right? Okay, they just said make it. I'm glad you guys are laughing. Thank you so
Oh,
much
we're
because
two
it was
black
I was
guys and one white guy. If you didn't know.
yeah yeah. So anyhow, yeah, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys because I feel I can, you know. And the
Shit,
David
it's not
Alco
you.
song was hey no, it's not at all. And but the thing is like looking back on all of that, it was like 0.02%, you know, race anything. Okay, when it came to black folks or Mexicans, it was blacks and Mexicans. Those were the only two races other than white back then. You know, that's how
Right.
much
That's
they
what it
knew.
seems.
You
It's
know what
still
I'm
like
saying?
that
Like that's how.
in some states. It's
Yeah,
still like that.
yeah.
That's what
Well,
they
whether
think.
it is or not, but that's what they summed it up to, and that's the best that they could bring it up
Yeah,
to for
that's what
folks
I
that
mean.
live. That's the best they could do for folks that lived out in the middle of nowhere. You know, they didn't get to go past sixth grade, seventh grade, or eighth grade. They don't have a high school education, but I kid you not,
Right.
they take you up into those woods and they can show you how to live,
How to
and
slaughter a
it's not
hog
an
in
easy living.
3 seconds.
Yeah, right. And it's but you know, it's fucking, it's great because like it's the weirdest thing, man. Because like even the
Most
folks
people
around
are
here
gay
got
versus white.
quiet. You to be scared of me because I know how to do all that shit, man. It's like I'm
Yeah,
eating
cause
everything, man. From
that's that country
rat.
strong shit, man.
Yeah, but you know what's funny is people out here got real quiet when the Haitians were going after the cats and dogs. And I know why they got quiet too, because when there aren't any deer around, or rabbit, or like geese, or anything like that you typically hunt, anything that fucking moves is fair game. So that goes for
Right.
possums and raccoons and squirrels and chipmunks and weasels. And you, like I said, if it moves, you kill it and eat it. You
If it
know,
bleeds, we can delete it.
yes, that's the truth. And the funny thing of it was like, you know, when I heard that it was happening, yes, I believe it 100% because I know what it's like to be desperate for food. I know because I went camping with some guys that were unprepared, and day two we didn't have any fucking food, but we had a pellet gun. So guess what? Aaron ate food, and they didn't. They watched me skin a couple of squirrels and you know, gut them and cut
And
all the
I
parts
swear that's
off.
what I was gonna say. I swear that's what I was gonna say. Some squirrel meat. That sounds like squirrel meat
Yeah,
right there. Pause. No dating
absolutely.
shop became
I didn't.
dogs.
Yeah, right. And I didn't hesitate. They saw me doing this shit, and these boys were from California, and they're like half hippies, half country folk. So like they were gross the fuck out. They were never taken out as young kids out hunting or fishing or anything. They had never gutted a fish before. They never, you know, and um, I didn't realize how lucky I was to have folks from both worlds. My dad's side of the family is all city. That's where I get my street smarts from. But my philosophy in, you know, helping my fellow man out and you know, being courteous and the whole 9 yards. They're like on my dad's side of the family, you earn courtesy and you earn respect, as opposed to my mom's side of the family, which was you give them all the respect in the world until they just respect themselves, and then you throttle it down as you go along. So it's the same kind
And
of
both are
it's the
good.
same
Both
results.
are good.
Yeah, same results, but just different philosophies. So it's like um, like I said, I got the best of both worlds when it came to an upbringing, and um, looking at and that's where I understood Trump when he said that you know, there were good people on both sides, especially when you listen to that the last part of that speech where, you know, he rebukes the skinheads, the Nazis, and the what was it, the Nazis, the skinheads, and the neo nationalists, or whatever the fuck. Those guys are all bad. Blah 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 blah. And but I understood where Trump was coming from, because if um, if my relatives went to that rally, they wouldn't be carrying tiki torches. they would be in that rally with another group of folks that, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't want these statues destroyed. You know, and that they're going to be with those folks. We just don't want the statues to be destroyed. You know, and honestly, like, okay, maybe you guys will laugh at this one too. Instead of taking down George Washington or who was a slave owner, I think it was
Thomas Jefferson.
Hamilton. Yeah, Jefferson. Jefferson was okay. So you want to take down, you know, Jefferson's statue because he was a slave owner. Okay, all right, I can understand that. I can feel that too. But instead of taking the statue down, why not just put up a statue of Obama like 6 feet right next to the motherfucker? Ulysses S. Grant. Yeah, and see, it is funny. I would laugh my ass off because you know that statue went up there in like the 18 or 1900s, right? Like maybe turn of the century, right? That statue went up
That
there. It's
would be
been
a
there
show of a good
for
turn of a
yeah.
That's a good turn of
Well,
events.
what's that?
You said something, Doc? I was
I
saying
thought.
that was a good turn of events.
Well, and that's the thing, like I honestly, if you really wanted to piss off the racist white guy, you put a statue of a black guy right next to his little statue of his white guy. So
No,
that way when the guy walks past,
you'd be funny
he,
as
he,
hell.
yeah, it would be. It would be fucking hilarious. Put a MLK right, one MLK on the right hand side, and then Obama standing on the left hand side of Ulysses S. Grant. That shit would be. I would be in tears. But it would also earmark what changed from that point in time to now. Now
That's what
this
the
is
point. Yeah,
or make a taller statue of Obama or better yet MLK. Okay, let's go with Malcolm X and MLK. Fuck Obama. But you put one on one side and the other, and make them both taller than that Ulysses S. Grant statue, and have them looking down on the motherfucker. There's all kinds of artistic ways that would have been a great protest instead of tearing these 100-plus-year-old statues down. I think we could have. I think we could have protested a little bit better than destruction at that point. But the destruction of a general statue that fought for keeping slaves. Yeah, I kind of feel, I can understand the anger behind that shit. I really do. But at the same time, I was, I was asking myself, what's the country coming to if we're going to destroy its history, good or bad? Because that
But
they,
now you question yourself. You question yourself. Yeah, um, destroying these statues may not be good, and it may be bad, or it may be bad, or it may be good. You know what I mean? But what you just said, they're trying to erase history. That's not black people doing that. That's not the protesters that's
no,
trying to erase history. You know what I mean?
no,
If
no,
if if you throw people out there to agitate this crowd and direct them into doing certain things, have put bricks out there and have Black Lives Matter label on there. They the one who picked up the bricks and threw it against, and deface
Doc,
this, that, and third. I mean, it's just so much
Doc. Thank
things
you for
that the
saying that.
government and the people put out there that when you look at it for face value and what the news is showing you, you put things together and then you pick a side. And this is what we've been saying
Yeah,
from other shows too. They use black white, they use red blue, they use north south, they use east west, they use south mid. You know what I mean? They use all these labels and they break us apart. But if we all come together as one, we will see that we are all the fucking same. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So you have to question because it's not anger, but it's a lot of passion in what we talk about here, and like certain things in my lifetime I never thought I would ever see. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
I know you may not like a person for whatever the case may be, but like Obama holds a position inside history that we would never be able to change, no matter who feels what about him and this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? And he put policies in place to where he tried to help Americans in a way, but he's part of the system itself too. You know, you understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, sir.
he's not a natural grown uh slave descendant, or the case like that. You know what I mean? So it's like we have to put respect on people's name. Just like I would say, you know, Trump, he ain't shit. You know what I mean? But he has his strong points in certain areas, and he has his weakness in others. You know what I mean? Trump, Obama put into place the CDC guideline plan for, you know, if we ever get a disease, because obviously he put that in place because maybe he knew something that we didn't know. You understand? And he put that in place to
Yeah.
where, you know, it would benefit every American, not black, not just white, and this, that, and the third. And when Trump went in there, he was just so despised against this man right here that I'm gonna go flip everything that he did, from Obamacare to this state of emergency. Excuse me, the state of emergency guideline for the CDC. You know, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? And he just went
Yeah.
in there and did a whole 180 on the situation that was going on hand, to where when Obama got into office, he had to do a whole 180 with what Bush had in the plan, you know, inside there. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, but
you
you
know,
know
these
what? You
guys,
know what the biggest shock people had as far as Trump was concerned, and this is what an eye opener Trump was, because that's exactly what he was. He was an eye opener when he got into office, especially when he was debating with Hillary in 2016, and he was talking about the taxes. That's the debate that Dave Chappelle was making comment on, talking about the taxes. You know, Hillary tried to hit him in his taxes, say, "Oh, you don't pay taxes." He says, "Yes, and neither do you." You know,
Right.
all the
Change the
people that,
tax laws.
yes, the whole idea. He goes, "I know the taxes very, very well." He says, I know this because I use the same brakes that all of your contributors use and that you use as well." And he says,
mhm,
"If you don't like the taxes, change them." You know.
change, yeah,
Um,
Change the
so
code.
the thing is that, like, as if you think from the time that we were born, because we were relatively the same ages, the three of us, from the time we were born, we've always had some sort of president that's got some sort of hidden agenda to go to war. No matter how much they sit there and they talk, and you know, they want to do this and they want to do that and they want to, you know, increase our relationship with this, that, and the other thing, and you know, but it always these moves always required our armed forces to go someplace else. You know, and it doesn't have from Vietnam to Afghanistan. Okay, and what a horrible way to leave Afghanistan. Like Trump said, it was very embarrassing. There's no way, there's no reason why we had
but
to leave $80 billion
but
worth of
we
shit
we
there.
leave all these countries and land mass with like that. We left Vietnam like that. We left all these places that we go and raid, or we go and defend, or we go and have
Yes,
best
but that
interest
doesn't
in, and we leave them dirty. You know what I
that
mean?
didn't yeah, but that didn't have to mean that Afghanistan had to go out like that.
No,
Okay, like
well, again, us as individuals, we agree on that. You know what I mean? But there's got to be
okay.
an agenda somewhere where they say that this is the best interest
Oh,
in USA. You
I'm getting to
understand?
that. I'm
Yeah.
getting to that. As a matter of fact, what I'm saying is that as I was growing up, from from Clinton, uh, or from Bush to Clinton to Bush, it would always seem some sort of conflict. Then uh, then you got Obama that came in, and I'm like, okay, this is MLK 2.0. You know, with like peaceful protests, and you know, because I really am. I'm thinking like this is going to be a culmination of Malcolm X and MLK. This is the chance for Black folks to make this the biggest difference in the United States right here. And then all of a sudden, we realized that Obama was no different than Bush or
Hmm.
Clinton or anybody else. By the
But
time
let me
he was
ask you this.
done,
Let me ask you this.
by
Let me ask you
by
this.
the
If
time,
he didn't went in there,
hold on. By the time
okay.
he exited office, he had depleted all of our arsenal, all of our missiles, all of our bombs, all of our ammo. He, we were, and it's very hard to believe this, but from drone attacks to and one side of the Middle East to the other, we had conflicts that were going on. And one by one, when Trump went into office, and this is exactly why the media attacked him, is because they knew that he had the ability, the negotiating ability, to go and get to know these world leaders and ask them, do you want to continue with your corruption, or do you want to continue on with being China again? Do you want to be North Korea again? Do you want, or does the new world order have this shit hanging over you? You see what I'm saying?
And
He that's why he went on this capitulation tour.
what 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 war did Obama bring us in?
Okay, you got Syria. You got he went on his apology tour in Somalia. So we ended up taking in I don't know how many millions of Somalians, and I know this for a fact because I worked with them just about 40 miles away, and half our staff was Somali. I could say thank you in Somali. I could say hello and how are you and the whole 9 yards. They're great. They're fantastic, fascinating people. But the thing of it is that um, we take Somali refugees because that's and then somehow, some way, in not Michigan, fuck, I forget what fucking state it is. We end up with Somali governor, and she makes a comment. Ilhan Omar is her name. She makes a comment that some things happened on 9/11. Yeah, just some things. She just cast it all aside as if those two buildings didn't kill damn near 3,000 people that day. Yeah,
So so
she
so
she
so,
said
so
that shit. So anyway, my point is that um, Obama stretched our military out like there was no tomorrow, wearing it out thin like there was no tomorrow. And when Trump came in, he, like I said, he campaigned on his own money. So there's no military money. There's no gas. There's no big oil money that's giving him campaign contributions. You got no big tech, no big pharma. All right. So when he got into office, the deep state kind of waited until to see what direction Trump wanted to go in, and when they realized that he wanted to end wars and take billions of dollars out of these big companies' pockets, big tech, big pharma, big oil, your automotive industry, your shipping and receiving industry, he wanted to take
Weapons.
money out of their big pockets in order to make the changes to put money in our pockets. That's
Now
that's
listen here.
exactly why. Yes, sir.
Let me make a quick point. Now, most presidents, probably, well, most of them, at least in recent history, we're going to go from the 1900s and on. Most of
Yeah.
them, no, we're not even going to go 1900, we're going to say 1950 on.
Yeah.
Most of them have been figureheads. Meaning, if people
Yeah.
don't know what figurehead means, that's a person that's just put there. They don't have
oh,
any power. They're just the face of shit. And
and,
there's people
and,
behind them making all the fucking moves and all the everything. Now,
and
Donald
that's what
Trump
we
is
talk about the
hated
deep
because
state.
he will
So
not be a
the deep
figurehead.
state.
He
hmm
refuses to be a figurehead. He's going to
hmm
do it his way. I'm the fucking president. I run shit.
But
I'm
not
going to
only
do it
that,
how I have to do it.
but he's
Y'all
not
say,
even
yeah,
approached
bro.
that you can't even approach him on that avenue. So that I don't think he even got approaching that. And he not relatives like everybody else is that became president. You know what I mean? Everybody that became president was related one way or another through our bloodline. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, to go what you were saying with Jackie, like Trump cannot get the face. You know, he ain't gonna be. You ain't gonna use his character, his likeness, and he's gonna be a puppet. No, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
But
he's
And
not
that's
going to
that's
go.
the thing. That's the thing that rejuvenated. I think that's where I was going earlier. Is that for the first time, I felt like this guy was being genuine. Whether you're fired, whether he's an asshole or
but
not. You know,
Understand
I hadn't
before you
heard it.
get
I
in
hadn't
there.
heard.
Before you get in there, you are, because you don't know no better. You running off the fact if you are wet behind the ears. I'm gonna say you're gonna go in there thinking that you could win or your chances of winning is slim. So when you get the chance, I'm talking about Obama. You know what I mean? And when you
Yeah.
got that momentum going and you won, when you get in there and you may want to go change. I want to change this. I want to be this and and he goes in there and then you get that daily note every day and you read the craziness of the world. You're like, oh shit, I can't do everything that I say. And that goes for everybody that get in the office. You see they switch up. There's no way in the world that you tell me everybody run on this and you're not held accountable for it. Even if what's up, T, what's going
No,
on?
I
Happy
think
New
I
Year.
think honestly, no, I think honestly, a lot of these presidents went in there, and as they're starting to pick up momentum, like you said, or better yet, um, the powers that be earmark a particular somebody to come up one way or another, or like they're pre-selected. Because
Hmm.
one of the things I've noticed throughout this entire presidency, from Trump's presidency on, is that if it feels intentional, there's a good chance it is. And that's the and I know that's a very paranoid way to live life, or to look at things. But at the same time, it is intentional. I think honestly, Obama is a plant to weaken the American government. He did it under the guise of being a black American. He did it under the guise of being president. I think he is a part of some pretty dark societies, and I think he was intentionally elected into the United States to weaken the United States because
I
he
want.
was his rhetoric was way too global for an American president. And we needed a
Time that he
president for the
came
longest
up.
time.
Look,
Sorry.
look, look at he was coming up with the racial tension was overlapping that line. You know what I mean? I mean, America is supposed to have been had a race war according to the streets. You know what I mean? As far
Yeah.
as because blacks would get treated real bad. You know what I
Well,
mean? And
America, honestly, I think America had the race thing settled already. Is that what you're trying to say? Because I think that's what happened. Because
we
honestly,
didn't
I,
have it
I didn't feel no
settled. We didn't have it
animosity towards
settled.
black
What
folks.
what 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 came about? What came about was we was getting looked at equally in a sense. You know what I mean? We was getting paid equal paid jobs, and not only that, but I don't even speak about New York. I can't speak or I can speak about the East Side. You know what I mean? The Northeast Side. I can't speak about down
Yeah.
south, and even Philadelphia, I can't speak about because Philadelphia itself, with the common law state. Their minimum wage is like $6.50. Like who could survive off of that in today America?
And it depends
So
on where you're living and if you live beyond your means and you're not going to be obviously drinking
15
champagne
have
and
no
eating
means.
caviar. Yeah,
But
listen,
dude.
but
I
but
mean,
but
like,
who 650? It's 725 down here. You
I
have no, and they're no longer $500 apartments neither. Like when I came down here, my
whoa,
rent was
but
six
hey,
six and
how much is
change.
a pack of how much is a pack of cigarettes?
Pack of smokes is now you might as well say on average $10, 9, $10. And it was five and
Not
change.
10
And Doc can attest to that.
Ooh,
It was five
yeah,
and change when I first
yeah,
got down here.
yeah.
that's crazy
Like
because
Shit, my
tobacco's
rent,
still
my rent,
way.
hold on.
last
My
Hey,
year.
what?
rent was fucking 650 when I first got down here. And when I left that same place a few years later, it was 975.
Yeah, that sounds like a decent like inflation comparison or considering the economy and all that kind of shit, man. I mean, if you really look at it, like what were you paying in New York? On arm and a leg. I know I
Yeah,
was on that
well,
block. I mean, that
well,
was 14.50 an hour,
yeah,
14.50 a month.
New York is
You know
crazy
that?
price for
Yeah,
probably
milk is crazy. But
one,
my
one
point is
bedroom
that
now
like,
probably $1,300.
yeah, but see, you're going to pay more in the city, and when I say city, I say New York. Okay, when you're in a place like New York City, it's fucked up because you as a kid are growing up and you see uh, the height of success. You know, you could be in a bus uh, going down Central Park West. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, you're some
Don't
kid
go
that's
down
on a
there, but
bus. You're going
okay.
downtown. Yeah, you're going downtown for a field trip, and you're fucking you're going to Muma or some shit like that, right? And you see all these gigantic buildings, and you see the door service. You see how clean the front is, and the whole 9 yards. And you see that from day to day. A kid out in the country doesn't see a gigantic building. Oh, he wakes up every fucking morning at 5:30 every morning to go feed the hogs, and he's got to smell hog shit. And for a New Yorker, he's looking at a beautiful pasture. For him, he's looking at this cow shit every day. Okay, so he doesn't see that success. You as a New Yorker or a Louisville person or a San Francisco person, growing up,
Plus,
you're
it's
going to
a
go
major
past
city.
these high dollar. Yeah, take a major city, and you're growing up and you're seeing the success, and you're going to tell yourself one of two things. Yes, I can do that one day. That could be my dream, or it could be like, what, I'm never fucking getting that in the whole 9 yards. See, and it's like I don't. It's hard to fucking to throw those two perspectives together, and that's exactly what I said. I mean, before. I have literally lived the best of both worlds when it comes to that, and so I'm reasonable when it comes down to looking at to do. Would I move to the city now? Fuck no, because I would live beyond my means so quickly. It's not even funny. I would spend up what I made a month within 15 days. I need that money for the month, but I can only make so much. And if I'm a smart motherfucker, I speak several different languages. When I'm trained to do something, my hands touch it and it turns to gold. And I'm pretty fortunate in that regard. But at the same time, it's like, um, excuse me, am I going to be able to buy a house anytime soon? Nope, 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 nope. That's not going to happen in my future, and I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. I'm okay with renting simply because I see what could be happening in the future. And the job that I'm at right now, if I stick with it, the job will help me out in the future if inflation takes a lift. I can always learn something new and earn another dollar an hour or 50 cents an hour or something to that effect. There's room for growth at the place that I work, and I think I was pretty smart in picking that place. Um, the $7 an hour, uh, yeah, you can scoff at it, but that's something you can work with, and especially if it's something that you have to work with, then you know what, you got to look at it like a fortune. All right, so can you make can you keep a $5 bill in your pocket for a month and not spend that $5 bill? And if you can do that, can you do that with a $10 in your pocket? Can you do that with $100 in your pocket? Can you do it with $1,000 in your pocket? And then
But you
after
got to think,
practice a little while,
yeah, it takes them. You got to. That's a whole new discipline now. Because let's say, like, I'm gonna use myself as an example.
okay,
I'm on the block, like, and I don't mean the block that I met you on. I mean I'm on my block now. I'm getting my block
yeah,
money. So now I'm getting this money, and now I decide to change my life around. I move to somewhere that's less known, somewhere I won't feel like, hey, I can take over this town. And now they're telling me, hey, yeah, $8 an hour, and we want you to shit. I'm gonna go in real life. $9 an hour. We want you to fucking lift doors off of a fucking conveyor belt. Now, don't. I'm not gonna sit here and say I didn't do it. Of course I did it. But how did I feel that this leads toward mental health? How did I feel when I can make $360 in a fucking day? Now I have to wait a week to make it.
okay,
Like
I see what you're
you have
saying,
to figure
man.
some of that in too. Like if you already used to hard work, you like, all right, fuck it, it beats a blank. Yeah, but if you're used to, getting fast money, because remember now, Everybody from up north is moving down south, and they're not
Yeah.
realizing, hey, yeah, you're moving into quiet. You're moving in possibly quiet,
People,
possibly peaceful, but you're looking at
mhm.
a big drop in your salary.
People
Well,
don't
and
realize
not
that.
only that, you'll learn real quick. There's a pecking order too. These folks have known each other since they were kids.
Exactly,
Uh,
and you're
they,
nothing. You are nothing.
they played they played in the same mud. They've dug in the same dirt. They they harvested the same tobacco. In Kentucky as it is. It's
Nah, but somebody
And
come
the
from
such.
same
from the
But
people.
the thing of
east.
it is, but but the thing of it is, I'm telling you this right now, man. If you're in the South and you find some uh, if you find some country work where, like, let's say a guy wants to pay you $80 to dig a 40-foot hole, 2 feet deep, 40 foot long, and yeah, you got grab yourself a
That's
pickaxe and
hard
you
ass
shovel it.
work, brother.
But it's
I've dug
80 bucks.
holes. I mean, for way
The
more than
faster,
that.
listen,
I've done
but
that.
you got to hear it. Yeah, yeah. And the thing is that the faster that you dig that hole, the more money you make an hour. All right. So
That is
like,
true. It makes you work harder.
yeah, exactly. So are you going to make $80 in an hour? Or are you going to make $80 in 2 hours? Either way, you're making $40 an hour or $80 an hour. Either way, it's still making great money, especially if it's just
No,
cash
but the
on hand.
dimensions that you said, knowing that I've dug a hole, it's not 1 or 2 hours. That's like 3 or 4.
Yes.
So are you going
Yes,
to make
exactly. So
30
you're
some
going to be
dollars an hour
making
or $20 an hour?
exactly.
Yeah, because I look
That's
at it like
precisely what I'm
I
saying.
do agree with that. I look at it like that too. I do look
And I
at
didn't
that.
mean to,
The
and
real
I truly
average
didn't
brother,
mean,
like,
yeah, and I didn't mean to exaggerate on that. I just wanted to make round numbers that would make it easier for us, for the sake of the
no,
conversation.
no, I understand
It's,
that. I understand that, but I
it's,
do look at it that way. Like, all right, this dude is cheap as fuck. He's offering $50. All right, so now I got to get
but,
this shit done in like an hour and a half. So it's worth it to me.
but, and that's the thing, man. The country folks, they want it that way. They want to see you. They want. It's not so much that they want to see you slave. Okay, they want to see if you can slave, because the thing is that they have slaves. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or
Yeah,
buts.
they want to see you
You
sweat.
know,
Like they want to break. And
these are
City
not
Boy, they want to break us.
out
They don't
here.
think we can work
Out
hard.
here, no, no, it's not so much as that. It's out here. Very few farmers hire Mexicans. All right, so it's the family that's in the fields. It's the family that's rolling hay bales. 75 pound, 100 pound hay bales. Stacking that shit up. Like I said, slopping hogs to the guy that I work with right now. Uh, has worked at this spot that we work at for 15 years. And 25 years before that, he did nothing but milk cows. That's what his job was. He woke up every morning before dawn, a couple of hours before dawn, to feed cows. And if he didn't show up, the farmer knew it, because the cows would sit there and be bawling and wailing and making all kinds of noise and shit. And you're talking about a whole herd of like 500, 1,000 cows crawling, baying, and all that kind of stuff. So that was a big responsibility on my buddy's part to get there on time at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning. Examine all of the cattle there, go in the charts and see if there's sickness or if there's anything like that, man. Dude, try to catch a cow that's got an infection in their eye so you can slap salt in there. Dude, if you don't think a cow doesn't get pissed off when you slam salt in his eye, you have no idea how pissed off a 900 to 1,200 pound beast gets. And that's all knowledge after a period of time. So it's not just whether or not you
Just
can,
tell them you free
because
seasoning them. That's all.
well, and not only that, dude, are you going to go up to a bull and rub between his horns? You're going to rub his nose and shit. No, you're not. Any one of us that hasn't been around
I'm
bulls
not doing
before,
none of that shit. I die.
if
I get fired on a farm. I'll do the bales of
dude,
hay, and that's where it
no,
stops.
check this out. If there's anything you guys walk away with, I'll give you this safety tip. Okay. Now, let's say you guys go to a fucking a dairy, okay? And one of these bulls with the horns comes walking up to the fence line, all nice and slow and gentle and happy and shit. And he puts his head up over the fucking fence. Do you want to rub between his nose? Do you want to rub them like you see people petting horses? No, you do
Hell
not.
no.
That
Hell
motherfucker
no.
right
I
there
heard that shit.
will because bulls like to roughhouse and horse around and shit. And if you're out there in that field alone with that motherfucker, he'll think that you want to play like another bull wants to play, and he will rub you into the ground until you're dead. He will grind you into the ground, whether you're screaming, hollering, yelling. And there's a good handful of guys that the guy I work with, he knows that got smashed by bulls. Yes, they got smashed by bulls. It's a risky fucking business. There are some guys that get eaten by their own pigs. They slip, fall, hit their head, and then guess what? The pigs go to town on them. Yeah,
Here's the
yeah,
expression.
it's
It's the
dangerous.
expression.
So
SRED
the thing
as
is
the
if
pig.
you go to one of these farms and you say, "Hey, I'm looking for work. Is there anything I can do to help out on the farm?" They're not going to give you any of the responsibilities that could hurt you. They're going to have you stacking bales of hay or cleaning this horse stall out of horse shit and horse piss. Uh,
Only a desperate city dude is gonna go to a farm and ask
Go
for
to a
work.
farm because I'm not going to a
no,
farm.
Not me
I'll
no,
either,
buy me
bro.
a,
I'm
I'll buy
telling
me a
you,
seven and
only
start from there.
no, because I'll tell you why it's the best place to go for a city guy. Because if you can muster it up and if you show the wherewithal to learn that farmer's word is worth gold. Like you
Nah,
remember when like some shit would pop off. Here, I'll give you a perfect example. Okay, you remember when Michael Jackson died, and it went from downtown all the way uptown so quick, or like some shit would pop off downtown, and everybody in town, you could ask anybody in town in any area of the town what
They
happened
already
then,
know.
and they already knew every fucking detail. Now, when a farmer sits there and watches you sweat and grind all day, and you do what he says, how he says it, when he says it, even though it seems boring or it seems stupid or it seems like he's trying to get one over on you, you still smile and say thank you, appreciate it, the whole 9 yards. You still shake the guy's hand after he pays you, and when you're looking at this meager check, you're looking at like this $90 or $200 check or some shit like that, and you're not thinking it's much. But if you keep your hat in hand and you keep your respect behind your back, is when that man will speak for you.
facts.
So if
And
you
that
get
is
in some
true. A
sort of
lot of the
debt,
I'm
city
not
people are
knocking
willing to
that.
do that.
I'm not knocking that, but I'm just saying
Good
good night,
night,
Mr.
Brandon.
Johnson. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate you.
yeah, thanks, Unique Prince.
Always.
I'm just saying that as a city dude, if I'm moving to the country and then I realize that, oh shit, it's not all the peaches and creams that I think it is. You know what I mean? Like
Like Thompson.
I'm not going to the farm unless I really have to. And that's just me, you know what I mean? Other people got other
Yeah,
ways where they would go. Like they would try to probably get public assistance, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I'm not going there. That's when I would hit the farm. Like, yo, listen, for the first time I
You
did
going to get a
lawn. I did
you gonna
what they call it
you're gonna get a
um
seven.
when you do the grass and stuff landscaping.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
You're
I
gonna
did
get a seven.
landscaping and out here, bro, and that's one of the worst. Man, what am I doing?
You're gonna
Like
get a
Jack just said,
seven.
he was digging holes. I dug holes like yo, use the auger, you know what I mean? And then that's crazy, bro. Oh man, listen, I ain't got time. I'm using a shovel trying to get out posts with cement blocks. And I just and that and but I learned something as I was doing that for the first time. Like yo,
Yeah.
you
hey,
know what?
I know, I know we're well past 2 hours, all right, but I really, really want to tell you this farm story, guys. All right, so there's about 6 white guys and 6 black guys. We're out here in the South, and we're hanging tobacco in a barn. Okay, so tobacco stalks they go on this on this oak stick. It's about 2 inches thick and about 4 foot long. Okay, there's a bunch of stalks hang from it like you hang weed. Okay, I don't know if you ever seen weed hanging. Google. Anyway, I know you both seen weed hanging, but anyway, um, the thing is that the black dudes started talking shit about the work, right? And to me, it was just a handful of black dudes pointing out the obvious shit. Okay, but to the
Yeah.
white dudes, it was a bunch of black dudes complaining about the work. Okay, so like this ain't shit like I don't know what my black ass is doing in this hot ass bar. And we've been doing this shit for about 4 or 5 hours straight, right? And I'm just kind of smiling myself, you know, because I'm enjoying it, and they're enjoying their own talk too, man. You know, they're just finding creative ways to complain about this fucked up day of work that we got to do. It wasn't nothing personal. It was just black folks being black folks about being doing shit work, you know. So I guess, like I said, I'm just kind of giggling to myself, and I've worked with a couple of the black dudes over at another company before, and so I know they're just joking around and shit because I've worked with them at other jobs who've been joking around. One of the young kids, one of the young white kids, about 25, 27, he goes, "Man, if y'all don't like the work around here, man, y'all can just go the fuck home if you want." I kid you not. Those boys, the black dudes, fucking, all six of them, looked right up at him, didn't say a fucking word, and walked right up to the house, got their check, and they went the fuck home. They're like, man, I don't need this shit. Anyway, shit before,
You said he
you
went into
know.
the house and did what?
They went up
They
to the
got their
house and got
checks.
paid. Yeah, they got their checks. They went up to the house. They just turned around and said, "Hey, you want that work? You go ahead and have it, you dumb motherfucker." You know, it was
Yeah.
just, and I was pissed at this kid. I waited for them to leave because I did. I respected their perspective all the way, and including walking off because I thought that shit was funny. But what I didn't think was funny is what we had about 45 minutes worth of work with 12 guys, but now we got fucking six. And now we got another hour and a half because you decided to open up your mouth and be a little racist, little shit. Well, not really being racist, but just like you know damn well, if you've been raised in the South and you worked with black folks before, you know they complain about the heat, you know they complain about the hot ass bar and shit like that. And if you're in the right mood, you'll enjoy the complaints. It's not complaining. It's different. It's just black culture,
Fucking
bro.
soldier story.
Right? And I was sitting there like, oh man, I was so fucking heated in this kid. I was like, man, I shit you not. You just gave us another hour and a half of fucking work instead of 45 fucking minutes. I was looking forward to go home, roll myself a fucking split, and maybe pour myself a drink and cook some food for my mom, and then fucking have a conversation. But no. You had to go and open your mouth up and just fucking piss off all the black folks and go out of there, get out of the fucking bar. I can't believe you, kid. Oh,
I already know
but
me myself and Yellow Tape would have been two of those six people. Like, huh?
oh yeah,
The fuck you
oh
said,
yeah.
me?
I would
I'm
expect
out of there.
y'all. I would expect.
That's just us
I
living
wouldn't
our
expect a
spirituals.
single one of them men, and they are men. You know, because we were doing some guerrilla work. I would have expected any of those men to disrespect themselves enough to stick around. Oh, I need the money. You know, fuck, dude, we were making $8 an hour. But that's it.
Mm.
And I know for a fact that everybody got paid $8 an hour. And I know for a fact that that was as much as that farmer could pay us. That's what how much he could afford to pay us. Not a penny more, not a penny less. You know, he couldn't afford to pay us more than that. There's just he would have broke himself trying to pay us like $20 an hour or some shit like that. But
I'd
and
have lived on that damn farm if it was
the
$8 an
the
hour,
sweat,
free room,
the
and I got
sweat,
access to my
the
brothers in that house. To screw.
No, the sweat, the heat, the smell, all that shit felt like $20 an hour. Don't get me wrong, it felt like $30 an hour, really. But you know what?
Free
When I
rent.
received my
I'm good with
when I
that.
when I received my check, I looked the farmer right in his eyes. I took the check. I shook his hand. Said, "Thank you very much. I hope you ask me to do it again." And sure enough, he asked me to do that 2 seasons. You know, they're just having trouble finding help, and they wasn't going to hire Mexicans or folks that were out of out of country. You know, he just didn't know enough as a farmer. He lived on the same land for like 90 years. You know, he didn't
Passing it
read
down,
books.
passing it down. Generation to generation.
Yeah, and the only thing that they know is that land. That's it, guys. You know, they don't know. about P Diddy. They don't know about fucking Metallica. They
Anything,
don't know
basically
about
knowledge.
no man. They don't know anything before 1980. And it's not to say that they're ignorant. Them man, they're filled with fucking all kinds of knowledge because they know the land. They know what time of year to plant this or plant that or when to cut this and when to cut that. I've been
They're
learning over the
smart.
past 15 years. Sorry.
They're different kind of smart. They're more worldly than just books.
No, no, we're
Their
more
shit is actually
worldly.
better off.
They're more like their own little world. They're tiny. These are all little tiny little worlds that have existed,
Yeah.
for generation and generation. And this one here, I actually got to meet them and work on their last two crops. They no longer plant crops anymore. The dad went and died. The mom went and died. The son was taking care of both the parents and the farm. This I mean, this guy was stretched out like there was no tomorrow. And he's a good friend of mine, as a matter of fact. Actually turned out to be a good friend of mine. Somebody I wouldn't, man, I'd drop everything if he called me up like right in 2 hours and I got to go to work. And I could call up my work buddies and say, hey, so and so just called me up. I got to go over to his fucking place. I would drop everything I'm doing for the guy. And it was simply because I know that his dad paid me as much as he possibly could, and it put food on my table, it put clothes on my back, and it helped me take care of my mom. And it was work when I couldn't find work. My job was to find work, and when I found work, I was still looking for a job. Job. This is side work. This is the side work that you'll find. Yeah, yeah, you can
Yeah.
you can make some side hustle street type of money here,
That,
but
that's what digging holes
fucking
was for
people.
me.
I tell you what, yeah, digging holes. No, I'm talking like shooting dice or fucking dealing something or like uh,
City
uh,
boys, city
car,
boys.
car, yeah, yeah, that card room shit or that kind of stuff. As these small towns will know, and they'll know within the first like month of what you're up to, and the whole town will know. You'll feel welcome. People will not. They won't open doors for you. They won't fucking. You'll feel it. How. That motherfucker that sits down in front of the pregnant woman on the subway.
Is it a real
Say you're on
question?
the subway. Yeah, it's a real question. You've been on the subway before, and you seen that motherfucker that's sitting down in front of a pregnant woman. How do you
Oh
feel when
yeah,
you see
yeah.
that shit?
I mean,
Yeah,
nowadays, they don't need us, so I don't care.
yeah, but back in the day, damn well the whole fucking car would be
Oh
looking
no,
at that
back in
guy.
the day, I would have stood up. I
Yeah,
probably still would.
yeah.
Me personally would
No,
probably
no, no,
still
no,
stand
no.
up and give him the
You would
seat.
already be
But they don't
no.
need us.
You would already be standing up. A packed full car,
Yeah.
woman, a pregnant woman standing there, and that dude fucking sitting there, 25, 27 years old, and you saying to yourself, get the fuck up, you piece of shit. Let that fucking woman sit down, and so she can rest if she's pregnant or she's old. Yeah, she's 3 times as old as you are, at least. Just get the fuck up, And like, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but like, I was sitting down one time, and I turned around and I saw a belly looking at me, and it was a big belly, and it was a pregnant belly, and I looked around in the car, and everybody was staring at me like I was a dickhead. So and that's where I felt like, okay, maybe that's the mannerisms you're supposed. Yeah, I did get up and let her sit down, but that's how people will make you feel if you fuck over, or
Listen,
or if you touch. But
listen, moves. She was just fat. She wasn't even pregnant. That's the bad thing. She was just fat and lazy.
you see the dude that's got a You see the dude who's got his hoodie wrapped up like it's a baby, and he goes and asks the woman if he can get up, and he
Yeah, and then
unfolds
it
the
was
hoodie
just
and puts
it
it
was
on,
funny. Yeah.
stares at her. That shit right there, that had me rolling.
Yeah, but shit,
Uh,
man, we got to get up out of here. We knocking on 2.5 hours. Final
Word.
thoughts, Doc. Doc then moves, then I'll wrap it up. Pause. No Diddy.
No.
Shout out to King Combs.
Yo, shout out to
So good.
shout out to Uncle Jackie for having the show as usual. You know what I mean? Check out Yellow Tape 0528 on YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Um, yo,
Doc
rolling,
0528, yellow tape. He said
yeah,
his own
same
shit wrong.
same
No,
difference.
it's not the same on YouTube. If you want to get to people. Not
0528.
0528 if you want to get to him.
Yeah, pause.
Yeah,
Um,
no Diddy. Shout out to King Combs.
you guys, go out and vote Tuesday, election Tuesday. Go out there and put your vote in. Whoever you vote for. Um, vote for whoever you choose. You hold them accountable for, the direction of the country where it's going. If it feels not going in the direction that you need to be going. But the conspiracy theory Thursday situation with everything that goes on that we spoke about today. It's just crazy who makes the world go round, and like I said, they put labels on us to divide us and put pictures and content out there so you could see it and you have your own opinion on it, and then drag you to a dark place sometimes to bring you into more enlightenment of knowing certain situations. But you just got to do your due diligence research when you look up certain things and you don't feel not too sure about things, and see where it goes, and don't be ashamed by having a conspiracy theory or theorist label on you, because you are aware. That means you're aware and questioning what's going on with your surroundings. Thank you.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, dog.
Thank you. Thank you. Let somebody else talk now.
Yeah, moves.
No,
Yeah, Moose,
man.
yeah, Moose.
I think the angel passed through the room. That's what my mom used to say when everybody got quiet in the room. The conversation would go to a lull. Oh, anyway, yeah. Another shout out to Uncle Jackie here for hosting the show. Much
Appreciate you.
appreciation to have my invitation to sit down and chat. Um, yeah, and I love the engagement. The engagement right there. I want to understand. Um, I don't know, man. It just there over the decades. I'm a half century old now. I really got I say that to myself and kind of remind myself sometimes. But over the decades, there was one kind of letdown after another when it comes down to the presidency, um, and hope for the country seemed like it was this this facade or this front that 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 this little bit left of what our country used to be, like in the 1940s, 1930s, etc. Um, I'm talking about like the World War II era where people loved the country so much that they committed suicide when they couldn't go and serve in the military to serve the country. And there were priorities like, you know, there were just three priorities in life. The way I was brought up, it was God, family, and country. And all three of those, you became a human being or a functioning person in society by by um, um, by indoctrinating these things into your day to day life. And then, as I grew up, it was as if a decent president was like Santa Claus. Your parents just kind of wait to tell you that, well, the government is kind of fucked up. At least it is from a white perspective. I imagine from a black perspective, like there are a lot of black folks that grow up right from birth and like, no, the government's fucked up. They don't like you, this, that, and the other thing, and that, because somebody said something very shocking to me one time. He says, we as black people, we grow up hating ourselves. That just absolutely disturbed me to no end. I tried to imagine somebody disliking themselves because their skin color is not uh, it's not invisible. The way I feel it is. They feel like it's if it was anything else, it wouldn't be a problem. and that right there, I think honestly, when more non-black folks try to understand that, I think that's where we'll uh, grow by leaps and bounds socially. So, anyways, I could talk forever about that shit. I've got a particular goal as far as bringing folks together, and I think you guys really do help me hone in and focus on the materials that I kind of want to do for my own channel. And like you guys know me, I can do the devil's in the details, and I want to refine this because I really don't want to come off in the wrong direction. Uh, like you could. I introduced Uncle Jackie to Salty Cracker. I think you're ready for Salty Cracker now, Doc. This dude is fucking crazy. He's a guy from California, and if you get a chance, check him out. He's on Rumble. It's a crazy, crazy, crazy anti-democratic perspective, and uh, but anyways, fuck. You guys have already motivated me. I'm gonna be thinking about this shit all day tomorrow, and that this is like been quite the intellectual fix I've been getting throughout this conversation. I couldn't help but get it if you guys weren't here and giving me a chance. And I appreciate it because this does a lot for me. I don't know about you guys, but honestly, it means the world to me. So, yeah, that being said, you guys farewell.
Yeah, Uncle Jackie. Yeah.
My fault. Yeah, I had my
I
shit
put the
on.
motherfucker to sleep. Oh God, I'm so
Nah, I
bored.
had my mic was off. Nah, I didn't
It's
even
like,
realize my mic was off. But I'll say it, shit. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Shit, we appreciate having you. Coming through with a different perspective, different background. That shit is makes it beautiful. So shit. I appreciate everybody for coming out. I appreciate y'all too for joining me tonight and doing this 2.5 hour jump off. Shout out to Des, Miss Brinson, Grace, T, everybody who showed up, who gonna show up later. I appreciate y'all. But y'all have a good night. You know what I mean? Go have Mr.
you
Nasty
too,
time or some shit.
Yeah,
Say
definitely.
what? Right. You know what I mean? Go procreate. Shit. Or at least go
yeah,
practice. Go
be
practice.
be good or be good at it.
Right, shit. And as far as I'm one last thing before we bounce. Uh, the rich are getting richer, right? That's been a thing since before we were born. The rich getting richer. What the fuck is the difference? Now, what we weren't born and going to school with is people telling me that I can have, a female body part that I'm not supposed to have. So don't let somebody with grown ass kids tell you to vote for some damn Vice President Harris and that Democratic shit with the lowering of the consent and all that shit. Don't fall for that dumb shit. Like these folks, people got grown kids and they, yeah, Kamala Harris. Well, Donald Trump doing the same shit. He just didn't mention middle class. He just talked about doing shit, taking care of shit middle class people do, like overtime, like the lower class, like getting tips on being a waitress or waiter or a server. Excuse me, a server. The fuck, it's the same thing. He's catering to people who make less. Be fucking smart.
That's the thing, man.
Love.
Yeah, how in the world do you fuck, dude? I would love to be a Democrat. I really would because the Democrat technical Democrat, anti-war, working stiff. No wars,
That's
no
what you
none
would think.
whatsoever.
That's what it
The
used to
whole
be.
nine yards. And it's like Jesus H Christ. Uh, how does Joe Biden call himself a Catholic if he's not going to back up some sort of non-abortion? I'm pro-choice to a certain level of degree, but
Yeah, I'm pro-choice
I got to
myself.
draw the line at a whore. I got to draw the line in the sand. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that like the good gal that tried to impress some boy and did some accident or some shit like that, or it's rape or incest. Yeah, man, I can understand
Great,
shit like
great,
that. But
great
but if you're looking to be the senior events manager at your fucking company and having a child would just inconvenience you, yeah, that's where I don't like my tax dollars being spent. That's yeah, I
I
don't
don't want
mind
my
my
money
tax.
spent on no
A better
pussy.
way a better way to say it is like I don't mind my money being spent on abortions that there I say it loud and clear that involve rape or incest. Anything beyond that,
Great.
man, is
Stop using the
you're either
R word.
huh?
Don't use the
Oh,
R word.
yeah.
Can't use
Oh, shit.
Great, great, great. Gotta say great.
Oh,
Can't use the
great,
R word.
great. Okay. And that's another thing too. You're looking at um, a party now that caters to censorship. That's my biggest thing in the friggin' world is censorship. I cannot stand it in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, because
I
it
was
takes away your right to free speech.
well,
Mo,
my folks took my
Free
rights.
expression.
Mo, I got a
Yeah, but
question.
yes, sir.
Do you think Michelle Obama is a man?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I
Without a
thought.
doubt. I see that fucking dance she did on it was either on Oprah or Ellen or whatever, man. She's wearing the white pants, or he's
Yo,
wearing the white. I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. There's some weird controversial shit that Obama is not his real name. That his name was Barry something something. That he was adopted. There's all kinds of crazy shit that I'm hearing about the Democratic Party. And the weird thing of it is like, don't you think that if there's some really weird shit like Donald Trump P tape, they tried the P tape, and that was bullshit. Because I
no,
had
it
found
just
the P
hurt
tape.
me. It
I,
just,
like,
it just
I
hurt
would
me.
have.
It just hurt me how the deep state got us all confused out here, bro. Like we all confused, bro. Because I think even if she show herself, like she had a porn out there, yeah, people would still believe that she's a man, bro. It's just that crazy out there that like conspiracy theory is one thing, you know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I don't know, like certain shit. It just be like, yo, come on now, like how
dude. But
we
you
that
got
far down
Allie
the
Carter.
rabbit hole.
Well, this is what's scary. Is like you got Allie Carter, where she named Obama, she named Big Mike, and she named who else? Hillary, Bill, fucking what? And she's got no fears whatsoever on these little podcast or these little videos that she does on Twitter. And I know she's doing it on TikTok as well, but I don't have TikTok. I'm not gonna fuck with TikTok. TikTok's way too Chinese for me. Not to sound racist or anything. I love Chinese people. I love the food. I love the women.
But
All
let
that
me
kind of
ask you, we worried about TikTok and Chinese, but let me tell you what TikTok does. TikTok has got the freedom of speech that we so much don't have on these other platforms that say that we do. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Look
oh,
how
why do
look how
we
Uncle
gotta?
Jackie look how Uncle Jackie had to correct you about we have to use the certain words. You know what I mean? We can't even
Yes,
say what it actually is. Where's the freedom of
same thing
speech?
happens.
We not
Same thing.
using that in no term to where it's being disrespectful. We're using it in the
No.
term of medical use and as well as what's going on in society. You know what I mean? So
Yes,
when
yes, and I see what you're saying, man. But at the same time, you're under the same restrictions in TikTok as you are here. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it,
no,
and
it's not.
I can prove it to you.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Because you know why? Because you got to understand this government got people in our government positions that got dual citizenship, which is a conflict of interest with the American government. With the United States
There is.
Constitution, I believe one way or another, that got to be a conflict of interest because you're not doing nothing positive for Americans, but you're doing something positive for your other country. And that don't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? My tax
No,
dollars,
no, you're
tax
right.
dollars, Uncle Jackie tax dollars, everybody's tax dollars is going to this war that we and TikTok, not TikTok, excuse me, Twitter, um, Instagram, to a certain extent. And YouTube definitely, you're not seeing nothing about Israel and the Palestine war on no YouTube. You know what I mean? You're not seeing nothing. If you do see something of that, you seeing stuff that someone that got a broad channel that been on this and know the ins out, got some good lawyers or something like that. You understand?
Well, here's an observation on that Joe Rogan Trump interview. There were tons of
Yeah,
videos of people coming out that had trouble finding the interview itself after it had 30 million live views within the first
yeah, we
half
got
hour.
41
You know,
million. It's
it
up to
was it was
41
hard.
million now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there should be more and more views to that. But what YouTube did was choke the search out, and Google is a part of this shit too.
Mm-hmm.
Google search bar for it too had problems, and they knew that all they had to do was do it for a couple of days, and it'll still be like okay. Take for instance, there's a salty cracker. I'll watch this guy. He's fucking nut. Um, he'll have um, he'll have like 20,000 people watching, right? And for one reason or another, the software will go down. Like his channel will go down. They have to restart it. Well, guess what? That 20,000 people just went down to like 5,000 people because you have people that are less likely to reset and
Relook for
open the yeah, you go through all the ifs ands and buts to get back to the video there so you can start watching the live show again. And he lost like 15,000 people just in one little mistake, one little hesitation. So that's what 1 second can cost you, right? So YouTube knows this, and so does TikTok, and so do all the media, with the exception of Rumble. Rumble is one of the places that people are free to say a lot of anything
whatever
that they
you
want,
want.
and so is yeah, and Twitter is the same way. I can find some like neo-Nazi shit that I did not expect to see on Twitter. It was kind of embarrassing and shocking, and I didn't really even think people even talk like this nowadays. But and I'm not here to create any kind of fear because those assholes are really few and far between. Trust me, I've been in thick connection with the white world, and like I said, they're a dying breed when it comes down to shit like that. But at the same time, I was like kind of shocked that people are bringing some of that old shit up or being, you know, in their own way, fucking creative about some really fucked up shit. Um, but at the same time, um, the oh yeah, so back to the Trump thing, and the reason why I brought it up they know that today is the information age. I've mentioned this a bunch of times throughout our podcast, and the um, they're choking out information. Like if I go and I send you a link, okay, to a posting that I found, okay, if I send it to you via Facebook, okay, and it's a oh, okay, it could be anything. A guy landing a helicopter, right? Uh, the responses that you get, the first 100 responses that you get, are going to be completely different from the first 100 responses that I get. Okay, because of what you have hit like on Facebook, what you dislike or frowned on, or something like that. The algorithm picks up your selection, and they
Right.
try to let you know if it wants to guide you in a particular way. It's going to try and tell you what you want to hear first, and then you'll have to scroll down way down at the bottom of what Moves wants to hear first, because Moves has been hitting like and that kind of stuff, and dislike and all that kind of stuff, and responding and spending 0.2 seconds looking at these boobs, or he spent 5 minutes looking at this picture of an orchid. They're developing my fucking they're developing my
Thank you, Ethan.
personality. Yeah, they're developing my personality via AI. They're using AI. They're using quantum computers to build all of these images of ourselves so they can predict what our attention is going to be, what's going to catch our attention. So when I send you that link, and it's a guy landing a helicopter, and it's like, dude, it's a badass helicopter, and fucking, he's decorated pilot or whatever the fuck was awesome about that video that I wanted to send you. Now, Twitter's not going to be too guilty about that because the first person that responds to that tweet or that X or whatever you want to call it is going to be the first one that you see. That's all there is to it. So, like, yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's if we're being led in those particular directions, at the blink of an eye, this is a timing that it's less than the blink of an eye, and you're not even conscious of it when you go scrolling through because it's trying to put posts out there that capture your attention. Because if you click onto a post that captures your attention, they can throw an ad at you, and they get paid for those particular ads. So every time you view that ad, whether it be 2 or 3 seconds or 3 to 5 seconds of it, or the whole ad itself, they still get paid. So your attention is the product. That's what they're selling. That's why they take our information. Um, that's why I'm opposed to TikTok because not only does like if you look at the terms and conditions of TikTok, um, not only do you give up all the rights to all the information that's on your phone, but it's also to all the other devices that your phone that may be connected to a Wi-Fi. So if you go to work,
But your
if you
car
connect to
your car does that. Your
your
American
car
car,
does that,
you sign that off. You
yeah,
sign that off on the waiver. You buying a car. Why did
yeah, but
why does why does
it
that
doesn't
cover
make
you
it
buying a
doesn't
car?
make TikTok. Yeah, but two wrongs don't make a right. TikTok does the same thing. Is what my point is. All right,
No,
so yeah,
the power that being got all of this boxed in. You understand? Now because a Chinese or a Chinese person, an Asian person owned a Chinese person. I'm gonna say China because we don't have allies with China. No, I'm gonna say gotta say China because that's what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Um,
yeah,
if a Chinese person has this product and is offering the same adjectives and byproducts as everything else is doing in America, um, then they just following what by laws. You know what I mean? They consulted with their lawyers and like, you know what, this is what you have to bypass, this is what you have to throw out there because X, Y, and Z, because the law said you have to do that. Now let's go to what happens with Walt Disney, which is not a public entity at all, which is a private company. You know what I mean? They own the ABC, they own a whole bunch of other broadcasting channels that could feed us bull.
yeah.
Let me
Fox,
tell you about this
Fox. They
though.
bought
Hold on, hold
Disney
on.
Pixar. Yeah,
But they're broadcasting. Now I'm using broadcasting as a whole broad thing. You know what I mean? No matter what
okay.
umbrella it falls under. Now check it out. When you sign up for Disney Channel free membership and you happen to go pass away eating their food or they have some malpractice in Disney World or one of them entities that they have dealing with food and you happen to have allergic allergies against it because this is something that's on record right now. Um, and you happen to die from it. You understand? You can't sue that company because you signed up for that free trial, that 7 day
Yeah,
trial that you signed up for, and it's all inside the fine print that we don't read when we accept
I mean,
all everything. You know what I mean?
yeah. I listened to a video that touched on that. I'm glad you brought it back up
We
because it
we
is another one of those eerie facts about Disney. Disney is absolutely twisted if you really think about it. There are plenty of stories. Okay, just right off the top of my head, that are characters of fatherless characters or parentless characters. You got Pinocchio, you've got the Bambi, you've got
all of them.
all of them have got some sort of Peter Pan. Yeah, Peter Pan. I mean, some of the oldest fucking stories, and it was just fucking peculiar. I mean, it's creepy now that,
I mean,
I don't know why.
yeah,
I don't know if it's
look,
creepy because I grew up watching those films, or if it's creepy because they really did those storylines intentionally to manipulate the public. So okay, back to TikTok, okay, or back
yeah,
to
no,
it all, like you said, where you you've got the a non-disclosure agreement, or not a non-disclosure agreement, but um,
Consent.
a
It's just consent. A consent form,
well, it's
basically.
not just it's not consent, but it's a, for the lack of a better term, yeah, we'll call it consent. Um, it's a disclosure agreement is basically what it is,
Yeah, yeah,
and
exactly what it is. Yeah.
so the thing is that um, yes, Disney has a little piece of red tape that you have to look through the fine print and the whole 9 yards. And TikTok's the same way. Facebook's the same way. The whole thing, what I'm getting at is, as far as TikTok is concerned, um, you've got like hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people that can use and manipulate that information that TikTok gives to China to steal all kinds of ideas from other people. Okay, that's how you get shit like Timu and fuck, for lack of a better example. But anyways, that's how you get your cheap shit. Okay, and a lot of Americans buy that shit. I mean, and it's funny because the shit that you can buy on Timu should come in like 6 packs. Okay, you use it up, you throw it, wad it up like a fucking aluminum can, and you throw it away because I mean, yes, you can get it cheap, but I mean, how long is it going to last? None of these things are lasting as long as American products when America was making American products, from guns to automobiles, you name it. And nowadays, everything is pieced together by cheap shit. Um, and the reason being is that China can figure out faster these ideas because the information that we sign off on to people is like our IP addresses, that allow somebody to sit there and take a look at not only at our computer, but at us on our computer, or listening to our conversations with our families, or our, let's say I'm doing business, or I've got a business idea with like you two, and I'm having a conversation. We're at a coffee shop, and the whole conversation is being listened to, and we're talking about a fucking an engine that runs on water. Okay, and on a teaspoon of water, we found out that we can build an engine that will, you can get 3,000 miles off a teaspoon of water. And
Oh,
all of a sudden we were
people
talking.
done died over
Since we were,
that. People done died over that.
yes, precisely. But at the same time, people don't have to die off it anymore, bro. You can have that idea, and guess what? You know what? China's gonna find the little guy that hacked you and got the information. He's going to get a big old medal on his chest for finding, the water
So,
engine that goes 3,000 miles on a
quick
fucking,
question: with
water.
that thought and process, is China part of the G8 convention or no? When all the great
I
nations,
said
when,
when
when,
it starts talking, when you start talking about UN and NATO, I start getting hazy. Um, the other world groups, other than the WHO, the WEF, the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, and there's another one I'm forgetting. But anyways, those are the ones that are more like I got my sights on, simply because they are the ones that these globalists, if you want to put a little label onto them, these globalists, they want a decrease in population. That's exactly why they want to take charge. That's why the WHO wants to take charge of these of every country in the world. Should there be another pandemic, they want to supersede the laws and the constitutions that these countries. And when I say countries, I mean like Europe, France, Portugal, United States. They want to be able to supersede any of the laws that are of those lands, so that they can create a vaccine, or not a vaccine, but a pandemic mandate that would be controlling everything from lockdowns to mandatory vaccinations, mandatory masking, social distancing, all of
so,
that shit.
so we can agree that everybody's in one type of agreement, one way or another, with world form or something like that.
No, no, no. I can't say that everybody, because the people that are reluctant are the people that are voting for Trump this election. And the reason why they're voting for Trump is simply because they know damn well that he is not a part of that shit. They know it for a fact that he's not a part of the WEF.
But but
He
but, but, but
and what?
I'm talking about America in general. I'm talking about America as a country. I'm talking about China as a country. I'm not talking about no person.
Ye,
I'm just
oh
talking
well,
about
if you're talking about people that believe in that stuff, then yeah, you have to have
and,
people
and,
in this country that actually believe in it
and
for us
I
to be
say
start leaning towards that.
And I say that because now, as enemy of the state, you don't want your enemy with personal stuff. And if my government officials are downloading TikTok and using it on their personal time, and just happen to have it on their phone, and I know a Chinese entity or government official could tap in or hack it at any given moment while they inside the building of this government, administration, then it's a problem. You understand? But if
Well, the
you
thing that's
hold
one of the
on, hold
growing
on.
pains.
Let me just make a major point that just happened. We have
Sure.
so much entities that get hacked every day or every other day, every week we hear, every month we hear that an entity got broken into, whether it be T-Mobile, AT&T, Social Security. Everybody's Social Security number got compromised one way or another. So we as America that has these government, we set up this government. We don't have no securities in place to deter all of that. So
Oh yeah, we do.
if anybody wanted to tap in and
We
get
do.
any type of information and use it maliciously, there's a black market for that. You understand? Not only there's a black market,
Yeah, I
but they
understand. But
China
that's
probably have
why that.
to get it
But
in so.
yes, yeah, I understand the black market, and I understand the information is the key. The information and attention are the two products that are of this century. These are the biggest products that there are this century, and probably within the next century too. It all depends because if we can achieve, we don't have privacy now, but if we can achieve, and it's unbelievable to the anything's possible type of mind, but at the same time, if you can achieve that privacy again, if we show the generations now how important privacy is, then they won't be so quick to just cast it away and sign off and go on to
Now,
a product like TikTok.
now
If you make it,
I
um,
could see Trump making that happen. You understand? I could see that. But in that
I
same token,
understand.
where Trump is tightening up that grip right there, he's not separating who he feel should be under the same umbrella as who should be policy and who should be policing the policy that's being brought forth. You understand? So I respect that
Okay,
100%.
yeah, yeah.
Because I do
What we
think that
did, what we
that he
did
would he would
at
change
one
certain things. Yeah, I mean to the better. You understand? But
Yeah,
at
but
the same time,
at one point, there was a means that we had as a government to cancel out large swaths of crime, or of corruption. Okay,
your
from
Uncle
the
Jackie,
RICO
we
Act.
love you.
The,
Hold on one second.
yeah, we
Uncle
love
Jackie,
you.
we love you.
Yeah, we
Say
love
it
you,
again.
man. Thanks for letting us do that shit, Mark.
Good, yo,
Yeah,
we like
yeah. Time to
we like
go.
20
We love you.
we like 20 more
We
minutes.
do.
He said,
Probably going on
use
like
that
20
closing
more.
remark.
Yeah, it's just
And you know what?
I gotta perform my husbandly duties.
Oh, no.
Use that closing
Yeah,
remarks,
now you make
man.
a fella feel bad now.
Yo, so moves. We gonna leave the show off with what you about to say, and then we're gonna
Yeah.
cap it with that, bro. All right, bro. I ain't gonna rebuttal or nothing like that. We're just gonna cap
Well,
it off with what you about to
oh,
say, because I
okay.
just cut it off. All right.
All
I
right.
mean,
All right. That's fair enough. Now, as far as TikTok, I harbor some ill will towards it, of course, and I'm all for new software. I'm all for like whatever's new. I like progress, when it comes down to technology and that kind of thing. But at the same time, when the guy who's done business around the world goes publicly and tells me, "Hey, these guys are ripping us off by the billions. There's billions and billions of dollars. Our intelligence is telling us that there are billions of dollars that we're giving up on creativity, on new products, and the whole nine yards. It's getting ripped off. It's getting produced. It's getting sold to us. Our own ideas, our own, and these are the things that Americans are supposed to be making money off of. So how easy is it to convince a black dude from a city to say, hey, you know what? All you need to do is come up with a good idea, bro, and you can make a couple of $1 million. And no, you can't because your idea you're in the middle of this idea. Let's say you want to produce a widget, and you go and you go to put the widget up on Amazon to sell it. You create your little LLC and all that shit, and then you look on Amazon, and there's the exact same fucking design for $5 cheaper. Yeah, you just spent the last 2 to 5 fucking years designing whatever this little widget is, and there's my idea. It's right there. I can't believe. I know I'm the first. I bought the patent. Dude, if you don't know how expensive a patent is, go ahead and look that shit up. Yeah, so you go and get yourself a patent on this little widget that helps everybody. It's going to be a household name, and instead, some dude out in China ripped it off. And like I said, he's a little hacker that works for the government. So the government, since he's a part of the government or paramilitary or some shit like that, because just like us, they've got hackers too. That guy got a metal pinned on his chest for finding that, and guess what the Chinese government did? They found the perfect company. Okay, yeah, this is the perfect widget here. It's going to sell millions of them. Go ahead and produce it. Oh, and don't forget to hire 10-year-olds to fucking build them. And that's how it's been working. When Donald Trump went on and kind of explained it, and I'm paraphrasing what the man said, but yeah, that makes me all much more aware of what and guarded of what actually it's got me less guarded of what I say from now on because I'm enjoying free speech until there is no free speech. There are people getting arrested for hate speech laws that are passed. If somebody says something mean, and they can get arrested. I mean, fuck it. When last I heard, sticks and stones. I mean, like I'd never seen anybody get cut by bad words. I've never seen anybody broken bones or anything like that. I've seen plenty of people get pissed off, but yeah, hurt to the point where there's injury and traumatizing and all that. Oh, geez. That's a true sign of the freedom of speech. So this is why I appreciate Uncle Jackie and tying it up to an end. I appreciate you, Jackie, to let me come in here and just babble away like there's no tomorrow. And Doc is there. Doc's just there, just putting fuel on that fire too. So yeah, much love to you guys. I really, yeah, I'll feel better tomorrow, man. I got some. I had a hard pill to swallow this afternoon. I got a letter from the IRS that I was not happy to see. So yeah, this talk was perfect timing, man.
Listen, bro, it was made over there, so it should be like $3. Get you a bottle of Evan Williams and get a bang out of life.
Yeah, right. I'll get a big old mushroom sitting waiting for me, man. I kid you not. I don't know when I'm gonna eat these shrooms, but I guarantee you, I'm gonna be sitting in the middle of a field, just listening to God.
Bro, don't
But
forget you
anyway,
gotta get a bottle of whiskey, man. Kentucky bourbon. Get some bourbon and get a bang out of
I
fucking
know.
life. That's what I'm about to do. As soon as I press this end button, I'm gonna get me some more bourbon,
Oh,
another beer, and bang it into new life. Bang into new life.
amen, amen, brother. Y'all have a good night, man. I've got to get up
All right,
early. 3:30
everybody,
in the
go
morning.
take it easy.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all for coming through, man, for real.
Yeah,
Good
no,
night.
Doc 0528, y'all check that out. You got something to say, bro?
No. Yeah, I said what I had to say at the end. Thanks. You already know.
yeah.
All right, no doubt, no doubt, man. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate the viewers. Appreciate the subbers, the sharers, the subscribers. Y'all have a good night. It's over. Love you, TT.
You see, he talks like his shit don't stink, but he's cool with people. I knew he's fine. Just Uncle Jackie better. Jackie was alright. Uncle Jackie was excellent. Fucking guineas. Uncle Jackie. Uncle Jackie. Line, everybody get in line. Listen the fuck up. It's going down. Pay attention. Alright? Man, niggas a little man, bitches a little man, the flights a little man, the heart a little man, bitches a little man, faces a little man, fuck the wall, I'm the motherfucking general, niggas a little man, bitches a little man, the flights a little man, the heart a little man, it's a little man, it's a little man, fuck who you are. When I walk through, everything stops, silence, remain quiet, babies don't cry, thug. Yo, I think it's time we take a fucking time out to hear what Harlem got to say. What, niggas? Harlem on the vibes. You don't want no problem with us, guys.
Middle of the game, I'm standing out in the crowd. Arms so hard, gotta stack that case out my back. Got the beats banging, speakers bumping loud. I'm the king of the game, I'm standing out in the crowd. I'm so hard, gotta stack that cash. Yellow tape wrapped around, I'm making a splash. My flow so hot, it's burning up the scene. When I step into the room, you know what I mean. Yellow tape, yellow tape, yellow tape. We on fire, we the ones in charge. Ain't nothing time. Turn it up, let the beat drop low. Yellow tape everywhere, it's our time to show.
Let's see.
Practice. I can show you practice. I can show you how to put $1 million in a mattress. I can show the difference between an icon and a classic. Baby in the major should be rolling in a basket. I'm advanced, and it's a lot of dance. From anywhere, my jewelry jump like John Moran. And Kif Tower shorts got me tanning with the babes. You would be a surfer if you ever had this wave. I just switch up my cabana, they throw shade. Matter top 5, the top wives know I'm the fade. And though I'm out the loop, I'll be mute, playing cute, nothing to say to you. Cause when I'm back home, I'm like Kyrie, I won't play with you. This is magic with the fur. Tim Duncan on the spur. Tanya Harton on the skate. This that Kobe number 8. This the kick over the head in the hand of Sue Bird. This boy's superb. All I got is 2 words.
Uncle Jackie. We out.